Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Subscribe now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. I want to welcome all of you to today's edition of the Afridamus Report. So today, as usual, guys, I have another video, to break down and analyze with you folks that are watching or coming to watch later. And let me give this disclaimer. If you are someone who is usually in their feelings or everything is emotional, then this show might not be for you. Because here at the Afridamus Report, we break down, I break things down exactly the way it is. It's up to you. You can continue living in your fantasy. That is your right. You have the right to be wrong. But people also have the right to analyze things according to the way it is presented. Do not watch what an individual only says. Look at their action. The action would tell you everything you need to know. And people that ascribe to the mindset I'm going to be talking about here today, if you've been following, the Back to Africa movement, you guys remember people like Art Kati and others, right? They use phrases like B1, B1 representing Black first, right? And some Africans, especially Gambians, they're like, what is that B1, B1 this, B1 that, right? So I don't want to assume, and I don't want you to assume any longer, because you see, the Blacks that are into this, they tell you that you the African, you are also oppressed. Remember, right? Because you were colonized. But you are not B1. But when you ask people, what is B1? It's just like the white supremacy talking point, right? When you ask, what is it? You get called names. It turns into chaos and confusion. And you see, the only time someone will be upset about, like asking them about their philosophy, their idea, for them to clear it, they jump into argument with you. That means they don't know what they're talking about. It's all emotional crap. It's all based in emotions. Because if it's something that is real, something that makes sense, the person would be more than happy to explain it to you. But since you, me, and everyone, we are Africans, we're immigrants, we don't know anything about this, right? We don't have common sense, like what our eyes is telling us is a lie. Don't believe what your eyes and your ears is telling you, because you see, if you believe those, then you are helping white supremacy. Do you know how? Look, it's like one of those liberals. Just look at the laws, right? If you have the power to pass laws and dictate to people what they should follow, I mean, you're telling people, hey, call me emperor, right? You say, call me emperor, but what you know the meaning of emperor to be is not what you are saying. But if you refuse to call this quote unquote emperor, guess what? You are a hater. You are the crazy person. I'm sure most of you have found yourself in these conversations. And some of you, you just go along because you've watched some, CNN programs. In February, they brought Don Lemon and they gave you some sympathetic shows and you fell for the whole entire thing. So it's like they're keeping you in the past. So it's sort of like a addiction, like an addiction. I've shown you many conversations where the moment you ask people, many of you have run into some of the people online here, they start insulting you. It turns into, all this name calling. It turns into the whataboutism. But I want to save you from this headache. After today, I hope you will not find yourself in these conversations because you will become an expert in this. So I'm going to play a video. This guy, he is the B1 expert, because he's black. So there's no confusion about he's an immigrant, he is this or that. We will listen to him, have conversation. It's two people having conversation. They are both black from, ADOS, quote unquote, ADOS background, right? Because you see, it is fair sometimes because you see the blacks, they say, oh man, you ain't from us, man. You can talk about us. You know what? I honor that. This is why I will take black conversation and you hear the conversation between two blacks, a rational black and the other black that you are used to. And that's the B1 black. So there's not going to be interruptions there. He would have the opportunity to explain B1 and white supremacy and systemic racism. And you will understand why Afridama, said these things don't exist. I don't want to keep you waiting. Let us jump right into it. Give me a second here. All right. This is a show called the Nathan Daily Show. Let's give him a shout out. Go and subscribe to him. The conversation is great. So this other guy here, that's Nathan. And this other guy is the B1 expert. Let's allow him to explain what B1 is.
Thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate that. I'm a very serious person. I don't like to waste my time, and I don't like to waste other people's time. I wasn't gonna come on your screen until I had a hint that you might have watched it. You know what I'm saying? So I believe you. I believe you watched it.
I'm a man of my word.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I respect that. So I appreciate it. Now the solution is this: for black folks to be B1, black first.
Okay.
Period. Point blank. Unapologetically black first. We have to control our economics.
Okay.
We have to educate our own children.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically it.
So you guys heard what you guys heard what he described to be B1, right? Just be black, raise your children, work hard. Okay. I think that's a normal human thing, but okay, let's allow him to continue and we'll find out if his argument or what he explained here is going to continue standing as the conversation, progresses.
Simple. But you had to watch that video first, because just being black first and not knowing why you need to be black first would have been counterproductive.
Not really.
No, really. And I'm going to tell you why.
Wait 1 second before you say that. You missed an opportunity to potentially educate someone on that stream, right? You potentially missed an opportunity to educate me. Who would have said, one, that I would have been wanting to watch it? Who would have said that my ego wouldn't have gotten away and I would have decided not to watch it? You had a perfect opportunity to educate me and the people who are watching in that moment and give them some knowledge, and you chose not to do it. So I would say that doesn't help the situation. Who would have said you would have had another opportunity to come on here and speak to the people and give them that information? I feel like that was a wasted opportunity for us to actually have a conversation about whether I watched the video or not. Doesn't change the fact that knowledge needs to be shared. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree with some of that.
So usually the people that try to bait you into these ideologies, they would tell you, hey, watch this or read about such and such, like confirmation bias, because that's who they learned it from. So they want you to watch it, not to watch it critically. They want you to watch it in agreeing in what those people are saying. So that tells you, guy doesn't think for himself. Just like many other people, they just repeat what they're hearing. So that's why they always try to refer you to a video or a book. Look, I read books, but I don't take it like word for word. It's just to see what other people are thinking. Or if I want to learn a certain skill, that's all it is. It doesn't control my thinking. So let's hear him out.
Okay.
But, see, I did hit my objective.
What was that?
See, once you see something, or once you're exposed to something, you can't unsee it. You can't unexpose yourself from it. You understand what I'm saying? Things are going to happen from this point on, whether you choose to allow it not. See, whatever your level of cognitive dissonance is, that's going to be chipped away over time. You understand what I'm saying? Even people who you say, well, you had an.
So, keyword, cognitive dissonance. He's heard this. So, as the guy is engaging him, now the accusation is coming, because now, since they're having a conversation. Conversation is, I ask you, you answer, you ask me, I answer, right? Normal. You don't have to accuse me. You don't have to make up things in your head. We're talking. Just ask me whatever you want to ask me instead of assuming. But because he's in his head, he's formulated his ideas. And instead of speaking on what he quote unquote believes in, he's not going to do that. He's going to attack the guy. So some of you have found yourself in this position with these B1 people, but let's give him a chance, because the conversation gets better. He is going to tell us what B1 is. And I like how the guy here is cool, calm, and collective. He's not going to let him reel him into the, madness.
Opportunity to reach somebody. Well, that person, it wasn't their time. If they didn't go watch the video, this upper level ain't for them right now. They'll come along when it's time for them. You know what I'm saying? That's as simple as it is.
All right. If that's how you justify it.
That's how I justify it.
Ain't nothing. All right. That's fine. I think, I didn't feel like I learned anything that I wasn't already aware of from watching that video. My personal opinion.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you suffer from cognitive dissonance. Of course, you don't think you learned anything. You know what I'm saying? Your brain is trying to protect you from all your old learning and understanding. That's all.
He doesn't even know the meaning of the word he's using. The man just said to him, I haven't learned anything new in that video. I've already seen it. So how can he be protecting himself at the same time from the information he's telling you he's already heard? It would mean you are trying to introduce new information to him, and he's blocking himself from refusing to accept that. So again, people like him just use words and they don't know the meanings.
That's called cognitive dissonance.
No. I think you misunderstood what I said.
No, I understood perfectly what you said. You was very clear in what you said.
Right. But then you took what I said and then you reframed it to something that I did not say. I said,
well, no, you asked me you asked me what I think about that. And I told you what I thought about that.
Okay. Well, that's interesting that you say that, because if I just told you it wasn't anything that I wasn't unfamiliar with the things that was stated in that video. And you then said that you then blame it on cognitive dissonance when I'm saying that I already knew what it was that she was saying. I was already aware of that. You're saying in return that you disagree with that.
Yeah. A person who understands, first off, the system of racism, white supremacy. And in a nutshell, the system of white supremacy is simple as this. White people do fear genetic annihilation.
So you see how he's deflecting from, his ego wouldn't let him accept that, hey, he was wrong in the previous statement. But he moves on to making another, wild statement. So white people are afraid of genetic annihilation. So who isn't? Like why would you want to be wiped out? So he is saying this like this is just a regular thing, as if the white people are wrong in fearing that. But let's hear how and who is going to annihilate, white people genetically.
You know what I'm saying? You may not understand it. You may think it's all about baseball and basketball, small balls, little balls. That ain't got nothing to do with none of it. That's just an illustration as to what's going on subconsciously. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, in a nutshell, the Caucasian race fear genetic annihilation. I mean, if you watch the news for the last 6 months, you know that their numbers are dwindling and they're freaking out. That's why they mass shooting people all like crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's getting worse is what I'm trying to say. Now, we went off topic there a little bit. I want to get back on.
So, mind you, this guy, remember, sometimes black people tell you they're victims of white people, right? So this guy is just casually, laughing about white people's numbers dwindling, Yeah. No, like seriously. I mean, imagine a white person saying, the opposite. Like he's literally just, casually laughing about it. It's like it's evil, right? But he said the white people are scared. One white person, delusional white person, crazy one, that went and shot some black people in Buffalo in the grocery store. So now that represents all the white people. So let's go by his own logic. If that's true, he said white people are afraid, that's why they're mass shooting. What do you call all those shootings in black cities, like black people shooting other black people? Like, what would you call that? Like, what is the cause of that? But I bet you he would say systemic racism. Systemic racism. But let's allow him to continue. He is going to blow your mind as this conversation goes on.
Track. Because I wanted you to watch the video so we could talk intelligently about the system of racism, white supremacy.
So in your opinion, we weren't talking intelligent about the system of white supremacy before?
You mean just a few minutes ago, or the other video?
First time, yeah.
We couldn't. We wasn't on. You didn't have no inkling of what's been going on. Okay,
Yeah,
listen.
but that's what's
Okay.
interesting, because that's not true. That's why I find it so funny.
Okay.
It's
Well,
weird.
let me make it unweird for you.
All right, please do.
A person who understands the system of racism, white supremacy,
Hmm.
and their B1, black first, which you probably are not.
Okay.
You move different.
So now, all along, most of you thought the criteria for this quote unquote B1 is you're black, right? The guy, so he eliminated the other guy for simply engaging him in a conversation, even though the criteria in the beginning, remember, he said, you black and you deal with other black people. So this black person is engaging him in this B1 conversation. So obviously he is interested, just as I am interested in knowing as well. So because he doesn't like his questions, so therefore he's probably not B1. So now skin color is out the door, right? Let's find out what other criteria makes you B1.
Your whole essence is different. I'm gonna ask you a question. You could be open and honest and answer this question truthfully, or you can deflect, or you can say that ain't none of your damn
Just
business.
answer the question. Ask the question. Yeah.
The majority of women you've dated in the past, what was their race?
What do you think?
See
I'm
that?
curious.
You could either
No,
answer
I'm
the
curious.
question, you could
No, I'm
deflect, or you
curious.
could
I'm
tell me to
curious.
mind my own damn business.
No, I'm
I'm
curious.
not asking you a question for you to ask me a question. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
asking
yeah.
you a
But
question so that you
why
can
is
answer a
that?
question.
Okay. The last two women I dated were white, and the one before that was Hispanic.
Yeah, again, a person of this mindset moves a certain way. I mean, that's all.
So he is supposed to be the B1 expert, right? So if you notice, he's exhibiting all the criterias of all the other previous quote unquote these B1 people, the people that group think. So when you start asking, they are going to attack you. So now he started attacking him and started saying, oh, what kind of woman are you dating? Imagine in it like they ask you these things as if this is regular conversations. It's silly. Like, we're talking about something here. Why do you want to know what type of women I'm dating? So now he said white and Hispanic, right? So let's find out what Mr. B1 here is going to say about that. And people, please, I want you to remember this point, okay? Because the thing is, Mr. B1 here is constantly destroying his own argument. So it will help you, become an expert in having conversation with these B1 people without, allowing them to get you all riled up in their emotional argument. Just stick with the points, and because they have talking points, they've heard from some leader they found on the internet, or somebody talked about somebody, and then now they are repeating these things. So that's why when you ask, they would turn the conversation into arguments. It's like dating a black woman. So he's acting like his mama at this point. But let's go.
All I'm saying. Remember, I told you there was some box that have already checked before you probably even became a police officer. You understand what I'm saying?
So who I dated has something to do with my mindset?
Hell yeah, man! Don't you know that?
So,
Don't you know that?
So basically, you're saying you're validating the way I think based on who I dated, their race.
No, I'm telling you that how you move determines to the outside world of where your mind and your heart is. You know what I'm saying?
So you were able to figure. So basically, and the reason why.
So this man, the B1 guy, he's a grown man who, like most people like him, they would tell you, oh, it's what the white people think of me. So right there, the symptoms of, somebody that feels inferior, they base their identity on what other people perceive them to be. So it's in his mind, because I don't walk around even worrying about whether you white, black, or blue or green, of what you think of me. Like, if I'm not interacting, like, I'm not thinking about that. But he throws that in. Let's watch.
I asked you, why is that? You're able to already figure out that I date outside my race because of how I move and my essence and energy, kind of what you were saying earlier.
Nathan, in the first video, I was very honest with you, and I told you you're a white supremacist.
This is
and
true.
I stand on this.
I'm
telling you, you're a white supremacist.
Okay, guys, remember when we used to hear white supremacy, a white supremacist? See, you would think it's a white person, right? So he just called this man. I mean, this man is, Nathan is as black as the ace of spade. Like, the man is literally, he looks like he came from where I come from the black factory on the west coast of Africa, right? He just literally said he's a white supremacist. So now that means this white supremacy has lots of meanings. You could use it if you're in a conversation with somebody as black as me. If you disagree with them, you could say, oh, you are a white supremacist. So now you see the same tactic that is used when they disagree with white person. If you cannot hold, like real conversation, if white person questions you or tells you the truth, he is racist. If they are black, they are white supremacists too. Yes, I am as confused as you as well. But this is what it is. I mean, think about it logically. Get out of your feelings and just think about this conversation. If disagreeing with you is what makes one a white supremacist, then, what makes a white person a racist? Think about that for a minute.
Your track record proves what I'm telling you. Now, you've never been called a white supremacist because nobody has ever really come out strong and identified certain behaviors. That's all I'm doing. I'm identifying certain behaviors. And a lot of the boxes that you check proves that you are exactly that. And don't get me wrong, a lot of us are. I'm still a white supremacist on some level.
So, did you hear that? So he is a white supremacist on some level. So, is it possible? I mean, thinking about this, is this guy is exhibiting his alter ego. You guys remember when I did the video about the black rednecks, and some were upset because they refuse to look in the mirror. I think they see what I'm talking about, but they're upset that I'm pointing it out, that, I recognize it. So that's why they're like, oh, you hate. It's not a hate. It's just calling it for what it is. So is it possible that this man, like many people like him, have internalized the deep hatred and jealousy for white people and wish that they were white, right? And just perceive in their head that whatever they are thinking, that's what white people are thinking. Because he just said he's a white supremacist. So then I'm confused. So this is projection. The man is saying he's a white supremacist. So maybe in his head, he thinks this is how white people think. Like they think just like him. So let's let him tell us why he's a white supremacist as well.
I'm getting better and better as days go by. You feel me? But we have no choice because we are.
Look, I'm just breaking this down so you black debtors and you black immigrants running away from your countries. I'm in that group too. We just run from our shithole countries to come and take what the blacks have worked for, the white supremacists. So, and some are saying they come into Africa. So, and they told us to beware of white supremacists. So if white supremacists can come in blackface, we've confirmed that here today. So Africans beware. White supremacists because you know the blacks told you to be scared of them, so they could come in blackface. That is confirmed right here from the horse's mouth, from the black white supremacist's own mouth.
We are educated. We're educated in the system we are educated in. Religion is a strong part of it. And I know you're a Christian man, and that's another box.
How do you know I'm a Christian?
You said it on a bunch of your broadcasts.
Okay, so you do watch my broadcast.
Man, you've been doing this for 8 months. I'm a very...
So, mind you, this guy's a grown man, right? So that's another thing. That's another clue to know who is satanic, who is like delusional. When they try to shame you for believing in God, having religion. If you don't, so the thing is, like the religious people, you shame them if they preach to you and say they're trying to force you into their religion, and they usually would say Jesus is your Lord, and if you don't accept it, they leave you alone, But if they don't believe in your B1 stuff, you insult them. You accuse them of being haters. So this is hate all around, wrapped in color. That's just what it is. That's why he sounds so crazy.
Intelligent
brother just did some research yesterday, and I want to come up here and act brand new.
Well, like I told you, I'm intrigued. I'm inspired by your goal, not by you. So you a proxy. You just happen to be the person in front of me. You're just an example of personalities who happen to exude a certain level of understanding that's counterproductive to our focus, which is B1.
Understood.
That's the bottom line.
So let me correct you real quick. And I apologize. I had to be a little dishonest. I haven't dated outside of my race.
Well, that's good.
I only prefer black women.
Well, congratulations.
So, Mr. B1 here, I like how Nathan dealt with this. You see, reverse psychology. Nathan was a former police officer. You see how police get information out of you? So Nathan told him, white and Hispanic girl. And he accused him of everything that he violated in the B1 conduct, right? You heard him. So that proves to you that they are against white people, right? That's what he's saying, other folks. So now he corrected him. He's like, no, I was just misleading you to see what he's saying. Before, he was an expert. Mr. B1 confirmed that. He has fact proof to know that people like Nathan, real Nathan, there's proof that all the women he dates are white because of his mindset. He happened to know this. But yet, Nathan was able to deceive him. But you see, now he's saying, oh, congratulations. Let's see if he's going to really admit it and change what he said earlier. He's like arguing with a disgruntled black woman, period. They will never, ever accept fault, ever.
So,
and I think this is.
But now that don't excuse you though. That don't excuse you.
Wait,
go ahead.
Wait 1 second. This is the problem, right? This is why I said the statements you make are grossly ignorant and very accusatory and full of assumptions.
Right.
So we get into our community now when we start judging people by the people they date, and you think that you have them all figured out. I think that's extremely ignorant and very dangerous. It's a very dangerous mentality to have. It's almost cult-like in nature. Again.
So he's looking to the left, searching for answers. Watch his eyes. So literally, Nathan is right. So you know how black people like to say white people profile them? So literally, like you look at somebody and make up things of your, what you think. So this B1 cult is literally that. Mr. B1, they cry about saying people judge them. But Mr. B1 is in fact the one that passes judgment. Look at within this short time, he's passed judgment upon judgment on the guy he's having conversation with, and everything he thought is all wrong, wrong, wrong. And the man, you think he would stop, right? No, he just keeps going on and on. So I hope this helps you, learn how to tackle this type of people, because many of you have encountered them. They've come on your channel and disrupt the conversation. They've called you names. Some of you have played right into their hand. The reason why they display that anger is because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So when you ask these questions, you're poking holes into their bag of lies, because this ideology is not based in reality. So let's see if he's going to accept, if he's going to say, oh yeah, I just made it up, I'm wrong. Because that's what a honorable person would do, right? Let's see if he's going to do it.
And you're repeating the same mistake you made last time. You came up here and you made a bunch of assumptions. And I mean, that's okay for you, but I'm just saying, you just tried to check boxes for me and you don't know me, right? You asked me, and the reason why I asked you, why do you feel that's important? Because you made an assumption that because of the way I act, right, that I have to be dating preferably white women. I've never even slept with a white woman before. Nah, I mean, not saying if maybe the opportunity would present itself, right? But the reality is it has not. It's just not it.
But here's the thing. Why would this Mr. B1 or the other beta males, why do you even care what type of woman another man sleeps with? Like, what is that to you? It's very silly. It's very, very silly. It's like that's that jealousy again, because Nathan must know. This guy is literally saying, Nathan, in his head, he's saying if he looked like Nathan, he would be dating, white women. I've had some black guys say that to me, fat, out of shape, telling me, man, if I look like you, man, I'll be dating all them Beckys, man. So Becky is a come up. It's not that, oh, maybe this person just loves women, right? You have to attach color to it. This is crazy, but this is what B1 is.
This hasn't happened. I'm 36 years old. I've only been with black women. So again,
well, not again.
Your analysis and your assumptions are so off.
No, they're not. Because if you haven't dated white women or even other race women, you've probably dated women that are like you, Candace Owens types.
Okay.
Again,
so he moved the goalpost again. So Mr. B1, so he's literally dealing with an addict. So if they are holding on to every excuse in the book. First, he accused him of dating white women, right? And I like what Nathan did. He played along. So instead of changing that, now he moved the goalpost to another black person, a woman that he disagrees with. So now she's a white supremacist as well. So you can't win for trying with these people. There is no winning. It's like arguing with a full-blown crackhead.
There's always something.
They could be any race. White supremacy is a mindset. You know what I'm saying? So
this is, we're not going to play the cuckoo for Cocoa Puff game, right? Where there's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. How much? So again, let's talk about solutions, because we can go around in circles about the yellow brick road, right?
Mhm.
So let's
Right.
talk about solutions, because that's what I'm really all about. You know my channel. I like
Now,
solutions.
now this time, Nathan, I'm gonna need you to take a pen in your hand and write this down because I don't want you to ask me the same question more than twice. You ready?
So let's hear. You see, people that have you noticed something about people that have this sort of mentality, like victimhood mentality? Become entitled. It's a narcissistic behavior where you come up and talk about what you think you're victimized about, and everybody's gonna drop whatever they're doing to cater to that feeling. Everybody has to, like nobody else had any problem. It's just you. Everybody else overcomes whatever issues they have. So he is telling him to pick up a pen and a paper, right? So arrogance, arrogance, arrogance. Let's find out who is going to need a pen and a paper eventually. Let's find out.
No, are
Go
you
ahead,
ready?
brother. I got.
By the way, this is a grown man here. He's got gray beard. That means he's at least over 40 or so, right? And I suspect he probably have children. So think about this. If he is the one teaching those children, and this is how he thinks, now you understand what you're running into in the streets and on the internet. Now you're seeing, right?
I got the memory. Go ahead.
The solution is to be B1. All
What does
bullshit
that? What does
aside.
that mean? What does that mean?
Black first. Black
What does that
over
mean?
everything. Black
Mhm.
over your religion. Black over your sexual orientation. Black over everything. You
What do you
must
mean
be
black over your?
B1.
What do you mean black over your sexual orientation? What does that mean?
Well, you can't put your sexual orientation first. If you're homosexual or gay, that can't be what you lead with. That can't be the
So black over your religion. So for folks that are in religions that say it's for everyone, as long as you're human, we are all one race, right? So you cannot be black first. You have to drop that thinking, your sexual orientation. So those of you that are gay or trans or whatever some of the genders that people are identifying as today or tomorrow, one of those. So they are very open. As long as you say B1, as long as your skin is not white, but it's confusing as well. It's B1, and he even told us he himself is a white supremacist, and Nathan obviously is a white supremacist. So your guess is mine too. But let's let him tell us. Remember the things he is saying here. Let's watch if he's going to be consistent in what he just told us.
forefront. You black first. You know what I'm saying? And now for me, black is a crayon color, but it's our unifier. We're melanated. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
In this system, that's our unifier. It's not a nationality.
Okay.
So that's the answer. We have to be black first. And I know earlier you mentioned, well, it's all about money, and that's true. You got to have your money right. But
Mhm.
in the system, if your money's right, but you don't understand the external forces working against you, then your money eventually will be worked against you or beaten from you or everything taken from you. You know what I'm saying? If you can't protect it because you don't know who your enemy is.
So do you think black people, black Americans, deserve reparations?
Absolutely.
How much do you think it should be?
As much as possible.
How much?
And as fast as possible.
How much do you think it should be?
Well, a couple of trillion would be a good start.
Okay, a good start.
So so sounds like this guy really lives in la la fantasy land, and this is a grown man. He doesn't know exactly, how much, but a couple trillions would start. Why don't the treasury start, the federal government, start printing those, few trillions for the blacks. But let's let him continue.
Start.
A good start. It won't be in now because there's so much has been taken from us. You understand? But again, this is to address labor, stolen labor only.
Okay.
Because there's so much other stuff that's going on I can't talk to you about on this channel right now. But anyway, long story short, man, again, you were just a proxy. And if I hurt your feelings, man.
Well, California, did you guys hear about the California reparation? Did you guys hear about that? Well, they did. Go read in the newspaper. But as you know, many probably just read the headline. They didn't read the entire story, the article. So, yes, they said they passed reparation. But in this, guess what the reparation is? Now they said they raised minimum wage to $15 for black concentrated businesses. So that in itself, right, is illegal. You cannot just raise minimum wage for a group of people. If they say black concentrated businesses, name the businesses that the blacks own and they would be paying the other blacks 15 an hour. But here's the trick. They used the black for the reparation thing because they've been trying to pass 15, make it, their state $15 an hour minimum wage. So they just use this as a cover and say, yeah, it's $15 an hour. So who do you think? So they're saying, yes, here's your reparation. Now get back to your jobs at Subway, McDonald's, or wherever you work at. Those of you that quit your job, waiting for reparation, now we made it $15 an hour. Go get you a job. Okay? That's literally what it is. Go read it. Go read it. That's what it says. But in the meantime, they have a bill there where they pass this stipend where if you're transgender, they give you I believe 900 stipend every month. So they don't have to work, right? But the blacks have to work to earn that. So literally they're telling you, they're giving you the middle finger, letting you know, look, get back in there and earn that 15 an hour if you want reparation. So all these brouhaha, all these people coming arguing with you, if you notice, the crazy people on the internet that talk about this reparation thing and accusing Africans, saying Africans are the ones blocking them. Have you noticed I don't engage them anymore? Because I know they are operating in ignorance. I go and read this, what it says. So yeah, that's what the reparation is. The African or whoever is not issued. They've issued the reparation in California, but $15 an hour. Don't quit your job. Okay? Hang on to your job. And those of you that did quit, waiting for that reparation, get in there and get you a job.
And I apologize. It's just a certain type. I'll give you an example. Person like you, we talked about boyfriend, girlfriends earlier. A person is and again, I was of the same way and I didn't know it. I preferred lighter skinned women growing up. And I didn't know it. They just looked more better to me.
I've always preferred dark.
Why did they look better to me? And you see what I'm saying? Because
you listen to the conversation. Okay? His inner white supremacy is coming out. This is why when you're talking to these people, they would right away accuse you, oh, you must like white women. They are telling you what they like. If they like white women and you can be with the white women, just go do it. Why bother the rest of us? People, please make sure you hit that like button and share also. If you're new here, subscribe. Okay? So you heard it. He admits, right? He likes lighter skinned women. And now that explains, you see, why most of these people come online insulting the Somalis. They are obsessed with the Somali women and the Ethiopian women. Because, they are light skinned and they have the hair that they are into. It's only the black people in America that use this phrase, good hair. The first time I heard the word, right? Hey, to be quite honest, like any of those words, when they say good hair, I never even thought it applied to Africans, like the good hair, bad hair phrases. Because when I hear it, I was like, oh no, that's just to the blacks. But I realized it was nappy hair. So that means in the context of hair, you, me, we have bad hair, and the lighter skin and the white people have good hair. You see? So this guy is telling us he loves lighter skinned women. They call them yellow bone. There's an entire like word for it. They call them yellow bone. A light skinned woman amongst in the hood, she is gold. She's the one getting all the drug dealers. In fact, the lighter skinned ones. This is why when you're out and about, you see a light skinned black woman. You would see her sometimes with two dark skinned ones. They will be ratchet. Even the dark skinned ones are the ones that would be ratchet and loud, right? So sometimes it's reversed where you would see the woman, she is lighter skinned than the dark skinned one, but the dark skinned one is the beautiful one, in fact. But still, because of that lighter skin one, she's just light skinned. Guys like him would put the dark skin down for the lighter skin. And like I would see that here in America. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? But the obsession with light skin. If you don't believe me, go online and see, the beefs between, the blacks, they are men and women. The insults that are used is usually they will call the dark skin like oily, or this is where the word dusty comes from. So this is why all this talk you hear, B1, B2, B3, that's what it is. Is to distance yourself as far from the dark skin as possible. If you cannot do it, then be mad, be colorized, go date white woman, marry white woman, make a baby to wash out your black skin. That's the mentality. I mean, like literally, I've heard black guys tell me that's why they are with the light skin. You look at even the football players, the basketball players. Look at the type of women they are marrying. Some of them, like literally, right? Look, they will go get the lightest skin possible. She's literally white, right? And I bet you some of these people, when you see the pictures, they would say, oh, she is black. You're like, how is she black? She is as light as they. But what they do is they're like, hey, we're about to take picture to show to the blacks. You need to get into that tanning bed. Hop on in that tanning bed. And we'll let the blacks know you're black. But sometimes the dark-skinned women, they come out. Remember against Tyrese when he tried to, pull a fast one on the black women? He took his woman to the tanning bed, brought her out, and she told the black women, he posted on Instagram, he's like, I'm here with my black queen. Oh my goodness. Tyrese, they reminded him fast. And I was like, this is the same black women. Just a few months ago, they were telling Angela Merkel, you go, girl, you are black. You guys remember that? So it's inconsistent. If they get their fantasy, right? They told Tyrese, man, don't be calling her no, black queen. She ain't black. And they roasted Tyrese on these, social media streets. They dragged him along. So let's hear Mr. B1. B1 has the same mentality.
Because again, we're advertised heavily, coming up. When I was younger, hell, all the adult movies was naked white women. Debbie Does Hollywood and all this crazy crap. So Lucille Ball, the Brady Bunch, we was in doc. We just saw white women, so we put white women on a high pedestal. And
now that explains it. So This guy has been obsessed with naked white women for a long time. So he's wrapping his sexual fantasies in quote unquote white supremacy and all these talking points. I hope you guys are listening here. This man is telling us what he really thinks. So now it makes sense why when you ask them questions, they will say, "You must be with a white woman, huh?" So pretty much they're letting you know, man, if I was with a white woman, this is how I would talk. Literally. That's what he's thinking. So he's been fantasizing with Debbie Does Dollars. And you're a kid. What are you even doing watching Debbie Does Dollars? I mean, not that I watch that, but that doesn't sound like something a kid should be watching. Debbie Does Dollars? Think about that for a minute.
That's why when black, just take a sports figure, when they make it, they'll drop the black woman and they'll go get with a white woman. It happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? So whether we know it or not,
but here's the problem with that logic, right?
Yeah.
You know, black people aren't the only ones that interracially date. And it's a small percentage.
And black,
very small percentage.
And white people ain't the only one who's white supremacists. You know, see, white supremacy is we're all not exempt from being white supremacists. That's what I'm trying to get across.
So who are the white supremacists in this country? Can you name at least 3 who are in charge?
I like that question, guys. You notice, so anybody can be a white supremacist. So these people, if you can be calm and throw the question directly, they start having weakness. They start dancing around. So last time you check, right? Some of their teachers, who do they point at to you and say are the white supremacists? Let's be real. They point at white people. But why is he, having second thought about just saying what, who the white supremacists are? But now I like that he's gonna ask him to name who are the white supremacists. And if you notice, usually they wouldn't attack like white people. They would attack other black people. That tells you like plantation thinking is still on. Oh, I can't attack Massa, but I'll attack the other blacks. That's the mentality.
Hard to make these decisions. Can you name?
That's what you don't understand. White supremacy is a system, but people don't get together and have meetings, say how we don't screw up black people's lives. They don't operate. They don't operate like that. It's not one person. It's not one person in control of this.
Educate the people who have not seen the video what white supremacy is and how it works.
Yeah, white supremacy again. It's white people on top, black people on the bottom, and other folks in the middle. But on the far end, you got white people.
So, I said this before and people were upset. I said being envious of whites and seeing whites as superior. Remember the video I played yesterday in my stream, how that one man refused to accept that it means black people are inferior to the whites. And he said he doesn't see white people like that. But Mr. B1 here just told you. So pretty much this is the hierarchy he sees himself in, that anybody that's black is in the bottom. I don't know how that's even measured, but that's what he believes. So now that it explains why he cries about white people, because he sees white people as his overlord.
Black people. So that's why I say our uniform is our color, because when the system of racism, white supremacy sees us, not individual white people, we're not talking about individuals. We're just talking about a global system. Okay. You got 2 teams: team white supremacy, you got team black. I don't know if you can see my finger. You know what I'm saying?
So if it's global, according to him, right? So it's only 2 types of people in the world: white people and black people. No other races exist. It's either white or black. So this guy, He's not talking just America now, like he made it global. So that's where they're reeling you, the African, in. So he's widening it. He said your skin color is your uniform. But Nathan here, his skin color still didn't help him not be a white supremacist, and even he himself. But let's see if skin color is going to continue being consistent thing for whatever he's talking about.
So, and again, the white supremacists are afraid of genetic annihilation. So everything is put in place to protect whiteness, from financial to social, the news organs. That's why when a white person does something heinous, like go shoot 10 people in a grocery store, the white news organs, which are the propaganda arms of the system.
So instead of just saying, naming the event, when the white guy went and shot people in Buffalo, we all know about that. But he's making it seem like this is like a regular thing. It's a recurring thing. So that's the picture he's trying to frame, and he's using him to represent every white person. It tells you his mindset, right? Imagine if people use the same way of thinking towards the B1 people, blacks. But I bet if he hears it, he's going to say that's what they do. But also he said, white people are afraid of genetic annihilation. He's repeating this again. So who wants to be annihilated genetically? Who wants that? And he said, white people, everything they set up is for white people. If it's a white society, ding, 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 Mr. Genius, why would they not set it up for whites if it's a white society? You're black, set up the B1 society. But you see, he expects whites to do it for him.
System of racism, white supremacy, it goes into overtime to separate that person from the herd. They say, oh, this was like a lone wolf. He was having some mental issues, or he was crazy. But they never say that when it comes to black people. They say, oh, well, 10 people got killed in Chicago. Them Chicago niggas crazy. they don't do no separating. You know what I'm saying? They just say that's what has happened.
So he said, he's literally saying white people took the time to find out about this man, the shooting. Okay. But Chicago, they don't go deep. He said, oh, is the black people crazy there? So what happened to the B1? Why should white people, since you say you want to separate, why should they be the one to clear black people's mess? So again, he's accusing the white people, because these shootings, it is white televisions that broadcast it every day. It's not black news. If the white people, if you bring it up, they say, oh, they are lying. But you're not going to see black news companies broadcasting it, because they use it as something is like a taboo, like as a talking point, instead of the human catastrophe that is taking place there. But they want to be all up in their feelings, making it about black and white, as if it makes any difference what color a shooter is, as if that makes any difference. This is how ridiculous and crazy some of these people are. You can't reason with crazy people. He's way too emotional. You can't trust emotional people, because they would make up lies. It's like the conversation is not based in reality. It is in his head, is based in winning. I don't know what he thinks he's winning, but this is how he talks. He talks as if he's in a trance. So he talks casually about black people killing blacks in Chicago, as if that is not equivalent to the people that got shot in Buffalo. Dead is dead. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the skin color is. It doesn't matter whatever reason the shooter or whoever gave. It's no different than, somebody in Southside Chicago or in Baltimore shooting another black person. Let's face reality.
Black people act. You understand? So
why does that matter though? Why do you think that?
Man, listen, everything matters. I mean, it's not. You don't just pick one little thing and go, well, we'll throw that out. We'll throw that out.
No, I'm just asking you.
Man, everything matters.
Okay, I hear you. I'm saying, why does that matter? You're pointing out a situation where the news. What do black people control? Do we control the media?
Well, again, the goal is to be black first. I mean, we will eventually. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But
just be black first. That would, heal you. That would, pay your bills. In fact, it would be like a shield. You would be bulletproof. Yeah, just be black first. Yeah, just be that.
Until we do, we have to, try to wean ourselves off of that bullshit that they be trying to program us with. The news, the national news organs are the propaganda arms of the system of racism, white supremacy.
We know it's propaganda. Shout out to Dub Will. He said, bruh, simple question. He said, how do you defeat the system of racism, white supremacy? Can you please give a simple and clear answer? B1, he said, you guys. He said B1 means black first.
Just be black first. That's it. Just be black first.
Well, I think we're all black first, right?
No. No? Just because your skin color is black or dark brown, it don't mean you black first. Hell,
so skin color is out again, right? It's out again.
Clarence Thomas, Barack Obama. I could name a whole bunch of other people that look like you and I, but they've done nothing for black people.
So Clarence Thomas, right? What did I tell you? He is, they would attack a black person, a Supreme Court judge. Like these people, they interpret the law of the land. That's his job. He's been doing that. So because Clarence Thomas is not coming saying what he is saying, so therefore, Clarence Thomas didn't do anything for black people, black Americans, American citizens. In fact, people like Samuel Jackson and other many blacks, quote unquote, the blacks call them their leaders. They are calling that man a coon for, reversing Roe versus Wade. I'm sure you guys have been hearing about it. Meaning, instead of the federal government deciding, making it a law of the land, making abortion legal, meaning killing babies. They call them fetus just to feel good about it, but we know it's a human being, right? And they said, we'll give the power back to the states so that the states can decide, mind you, to kill babies. So instead of praising that man, people like him, they're calling him a coon. So you would have thought this man would focus on real white supremacists, real white people, right? But he's telling you black people. Barack Obama, what didn't he do? I'm sure Barack Obama have done a lot for blacks. Ask the black women, he did it for them, and the black trans. You just aren't aware of it, but he did.
Okay. Matter of fact, they go out their way to not do anything for black people. Barack Obama himself said in his 8 years of presidency, he felt if black people was to get reparations, white people would be upset.
He is correct. He's not just assuming that. Like if the government just like the government gave this military aid, quote unquote, aid to Ukraine, you think white people are happy about that? Or most Americans? Come on.
That's the mindset of a white supremacist.
Okay. What would you do? What would you do if you were president? How would you fix the problem?
I'd be black first.
I understand that piece. You said that.
That's it.
I'm talking about there's a difference in telling people. This is how I look at it. And I think this is where I have a disconnect with you, right? Because you said black first, and then you said what else after that? What's the second one?
I don't think I said anything after that.
You did. You said you said there were
Guys, you remember I told you guys to remember what the criteria he gave. So now you're seeing the bullshit, right? You're seeing the BS. This is not rooted in reality. He just rattled off a bunch of stuff, earlier in the conversation. So now he said he doesn't remember the rest of it. He's like, oh, I only said one thing. But we all know he did not. He said more than that. So, yeah.
two things. You said B1.
Well, and then you have to understand a system of racism, white supremacy first, and then you have to be B1.
Okay, and then after we understand that, what's after that?
What's after B1?
You guys remember how skin gotta be above your religion, skin color above your sexual orientation? So he just, like I said, he rattled off a bunch of stuff that he can't even remember what he said. He's all over the place. So this guy is a grown-up, like probably in his 50s. So this guy probably would accuse white people of not doing so well in school. He would blame it on racism. But obviously we could see here, it has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with what he's using his brain on. That's just what it is. He's even using it.
Well, if you're black, if your ideology is black first over everything else, black family, black financial situations, you're dealing with business wise with your own people, and that's where your strength is. You're policing your own neighborhoods. I mean, it's simple. So where's the disconnect? You don't understand black first?
No.
He's been going around and around. He could not explain black first, just like most of the people that tell you about black first. Usually that's why they would be belligerent. They would call you names. They would, in fact, so far in this conversation, he labeled only black people or mixed people as the white supremacists so far. Those are the people who he's labeled. So that means these white supremacists are just made up. They are not real. Because he can't even explain it. So now he's throwing the question back to the man who he called a white supremacist. He should have just said, when the man's like, he's asking a man that he says is a white supremacist to tell him what B1 is now. He can't possibly know, since he's a white supremacist.
The disconnect is, think of it like this. I think this would be easier for you to conceptualize. I know it might be difficult for you to grasp, but let me break it down this way.
I'll do my best.
All right, good. It's a little struggle, but I got you. When we talk about solutions, you just told me something. Cool. How do you make it happen? Think of it like this. Let me break it down. Let me break it down let me break it down. Because I like how you are using Dr. Francis Westling's information to explain something that you don't quite yourself understand. When we talk about solutions, it's easy for someone to tell you what to do. Okay, how do you implement it? How do you get black people to the finish line? I think that's really the real question at the end of the day. When we talk about solutions, you said B1. B1 doesn't mean much of anything if you can't get black people to become B1. You're saying they're not. You're saying we're all indoctrinated under white supremacy, systemic racism. So then if that's the case, how do you plan on undoing that? If you know this and
hey, that's like a drug addict telling you, oh, there's no hope for them to, quit smoking crack. So then why are we even trying here? What are we working on? You know, there's confusion. Like, okay, there's no hope. So you see, like when people say finish line, where's the finish line? Who, you know, like who gets to decide when, you know, like black people would be healed from this quote unquote, you know, white supremacy? Who, like, when will people know, like, okay, we finally arrived? You see? So these are all good questions. That's why you have to focus on you. Your inner peace is very vital. Your connection with other people, how you interact with people, is going to dictate if you're going to have smooth relationships or rough ones. It's not about color, it's about your character, your attitude, and your mindset. All he can say is B1, B1. Okay? But you're saying your skin color doesn't make you that, the B1. So then what are you talking about?
This is information that was known way before, right? This is information. This is old information, sir. You're not saying anything that's new. This is not an aha moment. That's why I said when I watched the video, I was like, okay, what? Now what? Right? How do you implement it? It's like this. You have a math problem. The black issue is a very complicated math problem, right? And here's how I always describe it. It seems like people who think they know what they're talking about will say this is the solution because they heard it from somebody else who actually did the research. But then I ask them, like any other complicated math problem, like a professor will ask a student, can you show me your work? Can you show me actually how to get to this solution? And the problem is when I come across people who sound like you is that they absolutely do not know how to do that part. And so that is the part that's the most important. Anybody can say anything. Can you put together the roadmap? What does it look like? How do you do it? You said B1. That absolutely means nothing. How do you get people to be B1? People feel like they're B1. You are saying you know something that other people don't know. Explain to the audience right now how.
He's searching for answer. Nathan, see, I like how Nathan is cool, calm, and collective. This is how you get people to think about the things they are saying. So Nathan hit him about things he's never thought about. He's talking about one lady named Dr. Chris Welsing. She talks about things like white people are scared of genetic annihilation. Things about, you know, white people use the golf ball to show dominance of the ball is white. So I didn't know white people see their skin as white as the golf ball. And so everything is just against blacks, according to that lady. So that's who he believes in. That's like, people that believe in God, they are cuckoo, but you listening to some old lady saying she did some research, you're not looking, you know, living your own life, you know, believing in that is, you know, that's not crazy, but believing in God is crazy. Okay.
How do you implement that solution you just came up with? Something that's realistic and practical.
Well, we'll just go with step number one.
Mm-hmm.
You be B1 in your own house first.
Okay.
And you educate as many people as you can about what you're doing and what, how, you know, what B1 means.
Matifi and Supergirl, thank you for your super chats. Thank you very much. And guys, hit the like button and don't hesitate to donate as well. Hit the Cash App or super chat. Thank you very much.
All right. You're struggling. You're struggling. Hold on. No, you're struggling. You're struggling. You're struggling. Let me make it simple. Make it simple. Make it simple. No.
The B1 guys looking for a loophole to turn it into a shouting match. Some of you are familiar with this. But Nathan, I hope, will not allow it to turn into that. Because once they start raising their voice, you know, like that's their way of trying to disrupt, you know, the order that is taking place. Because you see, Some, people like him, they thrive in chaos. They thrive in chaos. That's why he's not admitting everything here, but his body language tells us the truth. Look, deep down, everyone knows what the truth is. Okay? But some people, the difference is people refuse to, see the truth, because they get so caught up in the lies to a point it becomes addicting. Because if you think about it, if somebody is truly down and they're a victim, they don't understand things, right? And you offer help for them to stop being that, they'll look for that help. Or when you ask questions, they would explain. But if you're asking the person and they're upset and there's no solution, that's a lost cause.
I'm
Wait,
struggling.
make it
Don't
simple.
mean I'm struggling.
How do you?
Just because you're saying I'm struggling,
No,
don't
you're
mean
struggling.
I'm struggling.
You're struggling, brother.
You're trying to interrupt me. So let me talk.
No, because you're missing the point.
No, you're missing the point. You're missing
All
the
right,
point.
this is
You,
what
if
I'm
you ask
asking
me
you.
a question,
And you're not answering it.
No,
I'm
no,
asking
you may not
how
want.
do
You may
fix,
not like
then,
the
then let me
answer
give
to
you a
my
specific
question.
one. Let me give you a
Don't
specific
mean
one.
it's not the answer.
How do you fix broken homes in our community? Let me give you something simple, softball. How do you fix the broken homes in our community?
You BB
You BB1.
You BB1.
Okay.
So how do you fix broken home? You be B1. How do you build a house? Hey, you be B1. How do you raise a child? Oh, just be B1. Yeah. And yes, literally, you're hearing a man who looks like he's at least 50. So now you see the encounters that you have, where it comes from. This is crazy. I know. I know you're thinking it. Look at Nathan's face. He can't believe this. He can't believe it. Neither are you. Some of you are probably like, oh man, Afridamus, what is wrong with this man, being, saying these ridiculous things? What's wrong with you for not, seeing it and accepting it? Well, go look in the mirror and listen carefully to what he's saying. If you feel good and see that as reality, operate like that in the world. And let us know. Let us know how it goes. Plain and simple.
Listen, it's a broken home.
Look at you guys.
No,
he said, wave the magic wand and be B1.
It's a broken home. You understand? So of course, you just wake up one morning and be like, hey, you need to be one. You need to be. No.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a man in the family, he's going to have to take ownership and leadership of that family. And he's got to move in a B1 philosophy. That's simple.
If there is no man there, that is not a family. A family is a mom and a dad and children. That is just the truth. So again, the mindset is already programmed, which is, yes, there's going to be a bunch of women, like with children. So now that is normalized. And folks, let me tell you, especially for most of you that come to this country young or interact in this, you better be careful associating with this, because if you associate with it too long, it becomes normal to you too, and you would end up finding yourself in that lane. I've experienced it. I have shake hands with the devil. But one day I had to look at myself and say, man, what the hell is going on? How did I get into this? I have to retrace my way, because you never know. You end up finding yourself caught up in that world. And trust me, there's nothing good over there. There's nothing good over there. I'm just telling you. So this guy is not making sense.
I don't know why you're struggling with that, but I do know why. It's like you got white supremacist blinders on, man.
Hey man,
but it's eye opening for me, because again, I've got to move forward with my mission, and I'm just glad your head didn't explode when you saw the video, because I really saw your head explode when you see, like, you know, that was just something in my brain. Anyway, long story short, it's not hard, Nathan. It's really not hard.
What
I mean,
is
this is
I'm
not a
asking you, how do you fix?
this
I'm
is not a
asking you.
calculus equation.
It is a calculus equation, and that's the problem.
No, it's not.
You're
It's a
trying
very
to,
simple solution.
Then
It's
why,
a
if
very
it's so
simple
simple,
solution.
how come it's not done?
Because not everyone is on the same page. Most of black people are white supremacists. Man.
What is the chat saying? Let's see what they're talking about. She said.
So he asked him directly, right? How do you fix broken home? He's supposed to be a grown man and bringing, doing what he's supposed to do. He doesn't even know how to fix it. He can't even explain it. He can't even give you an example. So literally, it's like asking a child that question. You don't expect a child to know how to lead a family. You would think by this age, if you're talking all this and talking about family, you should know, you should at least have an idea of how to, fix a broken family. He gave him softball question, but he cannot answer it. He's never thought about it. This is the problem. When you get yourself, surrounded by people that only agree with you, this is what happens. You're going to find your way outside that echo chamber, and your head is going to explode. He's trying to say Nathan's head is exploding. Nathan told him he's seen this video way before, but he wants to turn it into this type of conversation. You know how, like, some of these people arguing with them, they'll say, "Oh, I'm cooking you," oh, I'm doing this. No, just focus on the topic here. Let's have a conversation. It's not a win-lose. People are watching to hear, what your mindset is, and these things you're claiming, what is it? Explain it to us. It's not about name calling. It's not about picking on other people. But as soon as you resort to that, that tells me you are standing on nothing. You fall for everything that sounds good to you.
Basically, he's saying be black, which we are, and don't date white people. That's all I'm getting from it.
No.
I'm trying to break it down and make it simple, because you're making it complicated.
Just being a skin color don't make you be one. Because again, you got
how do you
Thomas
get people
types,
to become B1? How do you fix broken homes? You said the men need to be B1. Sir, have you ever worked in the black community? Like, really worked in the black community and got your hands in there and interacted with people from the community you're talking about need to be rescued from white supremacy?
Man, I live in a black community.
That's not what I'm asking. That's not what I'm asking. Do you live in a gated community?
No, that's for white supremacy.
So living in a gated community makes you a white supremacist. So most of us from Africa, countries where your compound is fenced and is gated. So hey, beware. That makes all of us white supremacists. I told you would learn new things. So protecting your home is white supremacy, according to this guy.
Just checking.
I don't separate myself from my people.
All right. So the question is, have you ever done any work in the black community? I didn't say live. I said work. Have you ever served black people?
Yes.
In what capacity?
On a daily basis.
No. Have you ever served black people?
Listen.
Have you ever served black people?
I just told you yes.
In what capacity, sir?
In my daily living.
How?
You take care of your.
So, guys, you see why the people you engage that think like him, now you see why they insult you? You got to give it to the B1 guy here. Usually at this point, that's when they force you into the shouting match so that they cannot answer the question. He could have made up something and say, yeah, I usually throw barbecue for all the, children of all the single mamas in the hood. He could have made that up because some people bragged about that. I've seen it online. He could have said that, right? Yeah, through barbecue, I bought some hot dogs from Winkles and Walmart, and through a barbecue. But the guy didn't do anything. That's why he can't even make up silly things like that. That's why he can't even come up with silly things like that. But here we go.
You take care of the people in your community. You provide
Okay.
jobs.
All right.
I mean, just being a police officer ain't the only way you serve people. Just
I
working
never
in a
said
food,
that.
just working in a soup kitchen ain't the only way you help people.
I never said that.
You know, if you
I'm
got somebody
asking
that's
about
down,
you.
if
I'm
you got
asking about
somebody,
you.
if you got,
So you notice, so everything he's saying, working in the soup kitchen, meaning for the homeless, right? So that means every help is just for, the destitute black people. This is the problem. Like when you talk to some of these people, they would accuse you and say you're the one that think all black people are down on their luck. No, sir, you're the one saying it. So literally all his interactions, he's telling you what he thinks of black people. It's not other people thinking this. Talking about soup kitchens, that's where the homeless go. So are you saying that's what's prevalent in the black community? Wherever you are? But let's let him go.
got somebody that's hurting, if you could provide for them a job and they could do better for their family, that's help.
This is a good
You know
question.
what I'm
He
saying?
said, can someone of another race be B1 if they advocate for black issues like Sean King, for example? And that's a perfect example because he's a white man.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because again, B1 is a philosophy. Yes, you could be any race and be B1.
But you can't. But you can't be B1 if you date someone outside your race, though.
No, you can, but that you have to be strong in your convictions of B1, and the person who you're dating gonna have to understand.
Sir, this
that.
is the problem with your logic. It's grossly ignorant.
Well, again,
So you see now the truth has come, right? So skin color is out the door. Sean King, the person that the blacks call, it's a white guy. They call him black. So he's saying, yeah, Sean King and other white people can in fact be B1. So it's an ideology, political ideology. I'm surprised he admitted to it. How hard was that? So it's like, literally, it's like pulling a teeth. So that means they're trying to sell you on a lie. Because if the person is trying to hide what the thing is really about, they're trying to sell you on a lie. And in the process, they want to shame you for it. So a white person can be B1. You see what we've just learned here? All right, let's let him continue.
it's not my
earlier.
It's not my logic. It's not my logic.
Shit. Well, then what are you over here preaching and trying to sell people?
You see, you're trying to put me in a bag of absolutes.
Sir, you put yourself in a bag. You put yourself in a trash bag.
I asked you who was you dating, and you told me whether it's true or not. You said it out your own mouth, so I'm gonna just take it at face value. Then you said no, I was lying. I don't know if you was lying or not.
All right. Well, here's the thing.
The bottom line is this:
Mhm.
Your resume speaks for you, whether you.
I would like to see your resume. I have a resume. You can check.
Everybody's got a resume.
But is your resume relevant though?
Man, my resume is B1. That's all the relevance I need. That's all I need. That's all you need. As soon as you wake up, brother, you're gonna understand that.
So, guys, when you hear the B1, in a nutshell, this is what it is. Yeah, this is what it is in a nutshell. Some crazy loony who questions their own identity comes to you and says, all you gotta be is B1. Okay, B1 to you too. That's all you gotta be, and all is gonna be fine. You would wake up, the world would be your oyster. Yeah, he literally I don't think he believes it. Do you guys think he believes it? Because he isn't sure himself. He's not sure. Remember yesterday I did the video about or in the fresh and fit, reaction, how white people and other immigrants laugh at these things. You see, even Nathan, who is from America, I'm sure his ancestors are from here, but he's got a brain, he's using it. You see how hard he's laughing? Because it's laughable. This is very laughable.
Man, by the time I wake up, I'm gonna catch you still sleeping, brother. That's the problem.
I hope so. If I'm resting, that means we done won. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
Listen, so how do we get, see, the reason why I say this is a bunch of Cocoa Puffs is because I've worked diligently in our community. I've worked in low income Black communities. I worked in middle class Black communities. So when you tell me that we need to just do a campaign, walk around telling Black people, hey, you guys, B1 is the way to solve the problem. Appreciate it. Thank you. Please sign up. Sign up, B1. Hey, you guys, be mindful of these racist sports that we play.
Hey guys, make sure you show your love and support. B1 to you all. Hit the like button and the Cash App and the Super Chat. Please express your B1 at the channel here. Shout out to all my B1 people.
Because subconsciously, it shows how white people are inferior to Black men because their penis size. White supremacy.
And she didn't say that about the penis size. It was about the fact that they felt their
I'm well aware I was being.
Look, I've literally listened to that woman talk about that in videos. And some of these Black guys would repeat this as if this is normal, to talk to another man about your penis size. Yeah, that's what white people, men, are afraid of. Oh, okay. Yeah, literally, that woman was talking about that. And then a grown man like him goes and repeat the same thing. And this makes sense to not just him, but others. But the way Nathan is asking him, the look on his face, he's beginning to see like, okay, this is silly. And you got to beware of all those, white supremacist sports, because, they built those sports to keep Black people down.
I was being facetious.
Well, I just didn't want your listeners to be.
They're not thinking about that. They want solutions to today. They want solutions.
Well,
to
again,
today.
See, and if when you worked in the neighborhood with the Black people, I'm pretty sure you went around saying, "Hey, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You need to do better. You're a Black guy. Straighten yourself up." I'm pretty sure that's probably what you was thinking.
No, I didn't, sir. I think
he just accused him again. He is in his thoughts. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure." How many times has he said this and he has been wrong the whole time? And how many of these people you've had conversation with and they're like, hey, I'm like 100%. You know what? I Googled something I Googled it and they wrote it there that in Africa, what's the name of the country? Man, why are you asking me the name of the country? Who cares? It's Africa. This is happening there to, all 1 something billion that lives in Africa. Is that right? So you Googled it. But you suppose, like if you Google it about Africa, you believe it. But if it's about them, oh no, it's just a lie. It's white supremacy propaganda. I'm telling you, the goalpost keeps moving. There is no way for you to have a logical conversation. But I think the way he's been asked, this probably helped him think about some of these things that he's been spewing. He probably never thought about them.
That's what's so funny.
Listen, I didn't say you said. I said you probably said or thought. Well, you know what I'm saying?
How about this is how it works. This is how
because you just said
let me explain to you how etiquette.
I was gonna go around passing.
Let me explain to you how it works. Bless your heart. You don't know no better. Nobody taught you how to have a dialogue, right? You ask someone a question. You don't assume. All you have to do is ask, brother. That's it. Hey, Nathan, when you were policing in our community, did you ever tell black men and black women to pull themselves up by the bootstraps? You see how that works?
You didn't do the same either. You see how that works?
No, I did.
Guys, literally, it's like it's like talking to a disgruntled black woman. Literally. Imagine how can you have a conversation, logical conversation with a man who thinks this way? So I'm here having conversation with you. You could just ask me, but you're all in your head. And you're wrong. Just ask me what you want to ask me, and I'll answer. But since he is wrong, the man corrected him. He's not going to accept it, just like I said, like a disgruntled black woman. This man is literally copying, some black woman in his, growing up in his life, his grandma or his mom or aunties. Because men in real world don't operate this way. Because if you do, like, people are not going to want to deal with you. Serious people. In the beginning, he said he was serious. Would you consider him a serious person? Are you kidding me? Come on. Imagine doing business with someone like this. Talk about burning yourself.
I did.
Well, there you go.
I did.
You get what you get what
No,
you.
no. I said I did ask you.
No, you said I go around and I put out pamphlets and I say, hey, be one.
No, that's not what I said. I said, do you go around, not asking you, I'm saying what you're saying is that simple that I go around with pamphlets saying be one. I didn't accuse you of anything. I'm asking you questions that you cannot answer. Or the answers that you're giving are extremely subpar. They're so surface that they mean nothing. They're irrelevant.
Well, and that's how it goes.
How do you get black men to become B1 when they prefer to be themselves? They're black already. So I'm not understanding you don't have any solutions. Or what you think are solutions, you don't know how to implement them.
Well, I do have solutions, but because of your white supremacist mindset, you can't hear them. And I understand that. I respect that. It'll take some time.
Guys, he could not explain it, and the man pointed it out. So the guys got white supremacist talking point. Here is when they say white supremacist, literally they're saying, oh, you're too smart and logical for me. That's their way of accepting that. I know you're thinking how unreal this is to you. Imagine in your community or your family, you have an uncle or dad who's thinking is like this man here. That's what where his thinking level is, and this is how he talks. Just imagine that. I'm talking about in your African family. I'm talking because some Africans, I can't say all because I've seen some from other cultures, is very questionable as well, but that's not here or there. Here we go.
Let the people hear them. Let the people hear what your solutions are.
I think the people have heard, especially the ones who wrote it down. Be one. And again, if your mindset is of a white supremacist, it's gonna take a little longer. I mean, I respect that. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Who did I hear B1 from? Isn't that something? What's the guy's name? He's on YouTube.
Man, if you just not hearing about B1, man, something wrong. If you just not hearing about B1,
no, I'm talking about the guy I heard it from first. He says that I can't think of his name. He's on YouTube though. Dr. Boyce Watkins. That's who it is.
Yeah, he's one of the ones. Well, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about black people getting reparations?
I think it's
here we go with the litmus test. How do you feel about black people getting reparations? So it's based in feelings, right? So, it doesn't matter whether Nathan or other black people, their feelings don't matter about reparations. You know whose feelings matter? The US government. Not even ordinary white people. If the government is like, give you check, what can people do? Nothing. It doesn't matter how people feel. There are tons of people who are against the government printing all that money during that, you guys know what, during that pandemic time, right? They were sending checks like hotcake to everybody. So people knew eventually this is going to turn around and bite people. You see how high the taxes are? You see gas prices and all that? You got to repay all that. So people that have common sense weren't happy with it. You see? So, but did the government care? They didn't mind at all. The government does what the government want to do. So if you're going around asking people silly questions like this, you're just looking for conflict. And if they don't answer as you want them to, you get mad. As if other people aren't entitled to their opinions and feelings. You see why I said feelings are not real? Imagine if all of us want to go by our feelings. The world would be it would be way terrible than what it is. Those of you that don't live in America, majority of America now is operated on feelings. Come around here and see. This man is operating in his feelings. This is why you're seeing people protesting. You have lesbians, transgenders, and even some men who are protesting because they say they are not allowing them to kill babies. All the people that are protesting seem like the ones who are not even lesbian. You say you're lesbian. Why are you worried about babies? You're gay. Why are you worried about babies? You're tranny. You know, you look like a woman, but you look like a car. Also, you have beard. Like they talk about, oh, what if I get raped? I can assure you. Some of these people, have you seen them? There's no way they should be worried about that. They are safe because of the way they look. You good. You could walk around naked. I can assure you, they're not gonna be raped. And you have old ladies. This is why in African societies they go by, because they recognize the old lady that is a witch. And when they say witch, the way some of the people think witches are, they think they're gonna come and have horns and all. No, just watch American television. There's a show called The View. They have these old ladies, cackling old ladies. These are real life witches. They come on TV and casting spells on the American people every day. This woman are like Whoopi Goldberg, she's like 90. These people are like 90. They come and convincing women, telling them to kill their children, literally. And they call that also, not allowing them to kill children is also racist and white supremacy. So you can't reason with silly people. You cannot reason with illogical people. I mean, think about that for a minute. Like I've seen some of these people with the signs, we want to kill the babies. I'm like, okay, you guys remember, right? I played those videos where they were saying even the president, the black Supreme Court lady, Ketanji Brown, that you guys remember, I played the video. Or I talked about it. She quote unquote didn't know the answer to what is a woman. But you see, now they're talking about abortion. Now all of a sudden they know what a woman is. So it's the same thing with this guy. 1 minute B1 is about skin color, another minute is not, another minute it is white people, next minute black people also can be white supremacists. So what is he saying? Are you saying just is good versus evil as it is? Like some people have messed up way of thinking. You say people should put their B1 skin color over their religion, and most people are gonna think that's pretty silly. Like you are literally a nut job to most people. But here in America, you guys see how this man is sounding like normal. This is what they've normalized. So on the internet, this is why those of you that are in these black spaces, that's why you're having these clashes. You're like, man, what is going on? What are these people talking about? And they accuse you of all of Africa enslaving them. That's another different one. Now they're talking about they need reparation from Africa. So it's like all over the place. All it takes is one person they consider to be a leader. He says something that is the new agenda. Whatever is trending, That's what, people hop on. So he's no different than the white snowflakes we see. Like, you go look, a couple months ago, they told them, oh, now, we have to support Ukraine. Most of these people never heard of Ukraine. They cannot point Ukraine on the map. Then they put up Ukrainian flags. But right now, there's a video circulating around on the web, World Wide Web. I got the video. Somewhere up in North Africa, I believe it's around Morocco or Tunis, they lined up a bunch of Africans in handcuffs. I believe many also even died. African leaders haven't even spoken about that yet, right? So for instance, those are real life things of things happening. You see, when you read about those things, you see videos like that, and then you see somebody telling you they are in fact a victim. They are people that bad things are happening to, but when you ask them, they cannot explain it to you. So these Arabs laid all these people down, and I mean, I'll have to do a show on that. I don't want to derail. That's a separate topic, but I'm just giving it as an example of how things are happening. Did you see the white media talk about it? Did you see them say, oh, on your Twitter, put it up that the blacks, the Arabs on the north are killing a kill bunch of these Africans from sub-Saharan Africa? They're not doing that. They are not doing that, you see? But silly you're over there. Now you're talking about Ukraine. You searching all over for racism because some African in a war zone is walking. Now that's racist. Racist is evil. If you want to see racism, go wait till I do a show on that. Now that is evil. That's real evil, and you guys will see it. Very inhumane. It's evil.
I think it's necessary. I think it absolutely needs to happen. I believe it should have happened a long time ago. I also believe that there's a multitude of ways to actually get it done. I actually have a plan. I don't know why it's taking them so long. Well, I mean, I don't know why it's taking them so long, because they don't want to do it.
Do you think reparations should be mainly cash?
No, absolutely not. That'd be stupid. At least to me, my personal opinion, based on how I understand the problem, to be absolutely should not be. It should be.
What else should it be?
Well, you tell me, sir. You're the expert. I'm the white supremacist. I don't want to.
That is the litmus test now. So if he had said, no, I don't believe in reparation, then that would solidify his white supremacy, stance, as far as Mr. B1 is concerned. Like, this questions he's asking, as if, the man he's asking, his opinion matters. But again, when you think this way, you would always look for confusion and chaos just to feel good, because he has to search for that chaos. This calm conversation, completely threw him off. He was looking to turn it into a conflict. But I'm glad the man did not allow it to get to that.
Give you all my damn jewels away so you can run around here and pretend like you know something, right?
Cash money. Cash
Good.
money. Cash money. You know
That's
why I say
what you
that?
believe? Why?
You know why they say that? They didn't give the Ukrainians education.
They
didn't give them low interest loans.
We're not them, though.
So now he's comparing themselves to Ukraine, right? So they said, oh, they gave 40 billion to Ukraine. That's what the news told you. You think that went to the Ukrainian people? That is in military aid. It's called AKA money laundering. This is how the military industrial complex makes money. This is why they force these wars. When they send this quote unquote 40 billion, that's not in cash. That is in military hardware. So even if they land and Vladimir Putin blows them up, guess what? Somebody gets paid. That's why they're doing it. So it would seem like the US government is giving military aid to the Ukrainian government. They drop it. These equipments have been paid for. And they would be blown up. You think they gave that money to the citizens? That's not what happened. And again, conflating, United States government foreign policy with his quote unquote plight. So it's like literally taking yourself out of any legitimate argument. If it's not Ukrainians, it's they are new now in the who's added. It was the Jews, the Japanese, which by the way, the people who that happened to, they were the ones paid directly. That's what reparation is. You repair the actual victim, the person it happened to. So when back in the days they did 40 acres on a mule and it never materialized, that was the perfect time for blacks to have received reparation directly because the people who were enslaved were alive. So you repair those that it happened to. The Jews, it is Germany. They literally are forcing Germany to pay the damages they caused to people who were in the Holocaust. And that was like, don't forget, the Holocaust was just 70, 71 or 72 years ago. So most of those people, the people it happened to, were repaid directly. And that has nothing to do with your condition. So when you bring that up, you destroy your own argument. It means you are just jealous of different people that the US government, quote unquote, give money to. But you should be digging. Why is the US government giving money to Ukraine as an American citizen? But he's too angry and blind. He doesn't see himself as an American. He sees himself as just skin color. So he's blind.
Give the Asians,
but we're not them. Why are we comparing ourselves to different ethnic groups?
Well, we're comparing them because they gave them folk cash.
But
they respected them enough. They gave them.
That's not black business, though.
Oh yeah, it is. It's your tax dollars.
If you're B1, why are you? If you're B1, why are you why are you conflating B1 issues with Ukrainian issues?
Because
Sir, that's how I know you don't know what you're talking about.
My government and my tax money is the money that they gave. So why would that not be my business? That's
not what I'm talking about.
No, that's got to be what you're talking about. It came out your mouth.
But you see, what is he speaking as? So, yes, if you want to speak as an American taxpayer, sure, make up your mind. You go look around the web, read about the newspapers, and see how, people who are white feel about the government doing what they are doing, giving that money to Ukraine. Just go see it. So you either now, is he going to speak as an American? So if we're talking about taxpayer, we all pay taxes here. So if you're seeing that taxpayers are being screwed, yes, we all are getting screwed. But don't try to make it seem like you're the only one affected. Again, the narcissism of people like him. He keeps moving the goalpost as he goes. It's like a child that throws tantrum every time things don't go his way.
No. You misunderstood what I said. And
brother, you was very straightforward. You said exactly what you said.
And you missed it. That's the problem.
Well, how did I miss it? How is that not my
shit? You tell me, brother.
I'm gonna let you say it again. Say it again.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, slow your heart rate down.
Go ahead.
All right, here we go. You are conflating the issues of Ukrainians to black issues. B1 and Ukrainian people are not the same. You cannot solve those problems the same by just giving money to you. You said, give us money just like you gave Ukrainians money. I said, well, in my personal opinion, based on the issues within our community, I don't think that is the best way to handle the problem. Now you said that you just cut the check, right?
Okay, now why ain't that the best way?
I know why.
I'm listening. I need to know.
You already know the answer, sir. I'm the white
Brother,
supremacist.
I ain't no mind reader. I can't read your white supremacist mind.
Listen, you could have fooled.
Guys, remember, throughout this conversation, he presented himself as a mind reader. Remember, he talked about Nathan's mindset. So now he's not a mind reader. Think about that for a minute. It's not that I'm picking on this guy, right? But I just want you to wake up to the type of conversations you're finding yourself in. Don't get sucked into this. No, you are not crazy for seeing it for what it is. But if you think he makes sense, put that in the chat as well. Feel free to subscribe to that. People are free to be wrong. Yeah, he is free to talk this crazy. But let him apply it in real life and let's see how it plays out.
Brother, the way you've been assuming stuff.
No, listen. All jokes aside, really.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I need to know how some people think, so it helps me. Trust me.
I don't think you really want to know how I think because you've been making assumptions about me all night.
You know, it's kind of weird because I think the same way you think. I think you got blinders on. You think I got blinders on.
No. I think you suffer from willful ignorance. I don't think that there's blinders on.
And I think you suffer from willful ignorance too. So we both on the same side.
The guy is literally addicted to victimhood, like many. Victimhood, the addiction to white supremacy. Again, a few minutes ago, he said he cannot read minds, but within few sentences, he just went ahead and made his assumption about the host. He can't help himself.
We're both on the same page. All right, well, now that we're starting from page 1.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gail. She said, so a non-black person can be B1, but if a black person dates outside of the black race, they can't be B1?
Yeah, they can be if they are strong in their convictions and whoever they date understand that.
Ooh, this sounds like some corrupt religion right here you telling me about.
No, it's simple. It's simple. Right. Listen, if you're a black person, you dating a white person, and you scared to express your blackness, then you weak. You can't be black first. You floating in the wind, man. That's it.
All right, I see what we got going on here. So, in reference to,
so he talked about blackness. He is still having a hard time explaining B1. We found out both black and white are the white supremacists, and also both black and white can be B1. So what is this man talking about? Now you understand why white people, you don't see them majority engage in this type of conversations, because they are silly conversations. They make no sense. If they participate, they would just be accused of being racist. And you, me, and everybody were black. And this conversation doesn't make sense to us either. But we would be accused of being white supremacists. You already know.
In reference to reparations, I think my personal opinion, it needs to be also, of course, there needs to be the financial check that needs to be cut. I think.
Guys, come on. I understand you want to write in Somali, but we don't read. This is an English show. Can you guys please not, bombard my chat with Somali language? Not that I have anything against it, but guys, at least respect my channel, and let's communicate in the language that we all understand. That's why I'm doing this in English, so that I can, all of us can communicate with one another. But remember, we all know other different languages as well. But please, let's be respectful and talk in the language we all understand. Thank you.
I think it also needs to be shown through education, infrastructure, Land, that's a must. Education as far as agriculture, finance, and then also schools in general. I think Black people absolutely have to control their own education. There's no way around that. I also believe that
And let's wish Punta Princess a happy birthday. Shout out to you. Happy birthday to you. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, it's Punta Princess's birthday, and happy birthday.
the Black community needs to actually remove themselves out of white institutions,
Yeah.
and that money needs to be created to support their own hospitals, grocery stores, and other essential businesses. Now, that's my take on it. If you
And
just
that's B1, brother. I'm so proud of you. Yeah.
all right, brother, bless your heart. Listen, I already understand the concept and the problem. I've studied this extensively. It's
Good.
you who has misunderstood who you were speaking to when you came up here.
Maybe.
Now,
Hey, if I'm
here's-
wrong, I'm gonna say I'm wrong. Yeah.
So, oh, hold on, you about to throw an apology out?
I said if I'm wrong, I'm gonna say I'm wrong. I'm a
Okay,
man.
well,
I'm 100%. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
thank you for giving me that. I appreciate your apology. So I think there's a multitude of ways to fix this problem. I don't think it's wise to just give people money, because the biggest issue within our community is the mind, the mentality. So if you can't fix the mentality, then you're only creating a situation where you put Black people back in the same conditions where they started from. So that's why I keep pushing back on this concept of just B1, because
so
how
you're saying,
how do you get people to be B1? How do you go about doing that? How do you do that?
well, let me go back. So you saying Black people shouldn't be given the money until they know how to handle the money?
No, I said it should not just be about money.
Mm-hmm. But they should be given money. Right?
I said that. See, you might need.
So, so it means if you give us checks, so all racism would heal right away, like white supremacy would disappear, right? So this is bait and switch conversation. He's trying to, so he knows the mindset. So he's trying to bait him into argument and say, how come they're not gonna give Black people money? He's heard the conversation before where people say they would just blow it up. He wants this man to say that so he can, start arguing with him. That's what he's trying to do, just like he's been doing all along in this stream.
To write this down,
No,
brother.
let me do it right now. Let me write that down.
Write that down. I did say the
because
first one. The first.
A lot of people, they'll say, well, Black people, that you give them a check, they just gonna give it back to the white people. They don't need no
some
money.
some will. Yeah, that's true.
But
They're gonna put it.
He's pointing out the obvious. Come on. So if he wants to say it, just say it. Or if what he's saying, he doesn't care about what people are going to spend the money on, why even talk about it? Hey, if they say they're gonna give people reparation in cash, if anybody is sitting there worrying about what the money would be spent on, you're an idiot, because there's no law between a man and his property. The moment you receive that check, for all you know, you can go spend it all at Popeyes or spend it on crack, whatever you into. You see? So these are conversations that are silly. But again, they are meant to, create chaos.
Back in rotation.
And here's my point on that. I don't give a damn what people do with their money. It's their money.
Then you're not. Care. We didn't care, sir. That right there lets me know you're not B1.
No,
you're not, bro. You like a lowercase b.
I have to finish my thought. If you don't
go ahead.
So he was thinking in terms of community B1, right? But now the man is right. He doesn't care about, obviously for all of them coming together. The bottom line is, it's like people united in trying to get free checks. That's pretty much what he's saying. Get your check, you can go spend it on crack. For all he cares about, it's like, who cares about the future generation? Just give us the check, let us blow it up right now. That's literally what he is saying. Who cares about the next B1s? I just want to blow it on me right now. F the future. That's what this sounds like.
Yeah, you are.
Why is we pocket watching if black people get money, but we ain't pocket watching when they give money to Asians or
Why
Ukrainians or Spanish
again,
people?
you cannot be B1, sir, when you're constantly comparing other ethnic groups.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
We're talking about black people.
This is my tax money. Did you not know that?
We're talking about black people when you're comparing us to other groups.
If our government is giving money to other,
sounds like a jealous woman, who can see, every woman's nice purse, their nice makeup, their head tie. But, it doesn't matter how beautiful their head tie is, how their makeup is. But since they're jealous of the other woman, no matter what that woman has, they would never be happy. Because obviously he thinks he wants to be like the Ukrainians. In his head, he wants the government to treat him like that. That money, again, didn't go to the citizens. Military hardware. But, hey, why would he know about, U.S. foreign policy? He said he's a taxpayer. Why would he care, right? You would think, hey, since being a taxpayer, you would want to know. But no, since I'm all up in my feelings, that's him, about white people, the Japanese or whoever. Instead of saying Japanese, he would say Asians, as if this happened to every Asian. That's how myopic, his thinking is. And it's not just him. He's heard it from other people. You've heard it from you that is watching me. Probably have heard these talking points before as well, without pushback.
People, but not giving it to us. Oh, that's damn sure I need to be all over that.
That's not what I'm talking about.
For you to ignore that brings
up what I'm talking about.
Some question marks to me.
That's not what I'm talking about.
And well, it's got to be what you're talking about.
No. You missed the whole point, but it's okay. Listen.
No, how can I be missing the point? That's the whole point.
So again, lowercase b is that's the vibes you're giving me right now. You're giving me lowercase b energy.
Well, that's because you don't understand B1. You just told me you wasn't 100% B1. You told me you don't even 100% understand the concept. So
I'm asking you to explain it. I'm saying, how do you,
brother? If you're black and you don't understand the concept,
tell me this. B1.
You already in trouble.
B1. Tell me this, brother.
Yeah.
Tell me this. I'm asking you because I've worked in our community for over 13 years. I know the mindset of our people in our community, right? I have an extensive insight on things you don't know nothing about. So I'm asking you because I know. So I'm asking you, how do you get people to become B1? What are the tactics? What's the strategy? What's the plan? How do you do it? Telling people to be B1 does not do anything.
It don't do nothing for you because you struggle with being B1.
How do you get people to become B1 that are not B1, sir?
Well, that's what we're working on.
Look, if you don't have a strong foundation, if you don't have principles, the point is, if you don't stand for anything, you would fall for everything. That's what you're seeing here. Man looks like a grown man, but he doesn't didn't start with us. He has no principles, no solid foundation. That's why he would fall for everything. People like him, they have identity crisis. This is why they would jump from group to group to group, that they don't even know why they're there. He can't explain B1. He's all over the place. It's not rooted in reality. It's not.
Right now, me and you communicate.
No, that's not what we're working on. That's not what we're working on. You're supposed to already have that worked out. I'm asking for the solution. So
what you're doing is deflecting.
You came up here saying you're B1.
What you're doing is deflecting.
I'm not deflecting anything.
Yeah, you are.
You didn't ask for my help. Well, you're trying to make it seem like I'm helping you with the situation. You didn't ever ask for my help. You came up here and said I was a white supremacist.
I don't need your help with nothing.
Of course you don't. Then you're not B1.
You opened up your platform. You asked a question. I answered the question. That's
You're
it.
not giving me B1 energy, brother. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you don't know what B1
starting
is.
to question your level of commitment to the cause.
Well, you're not B1, so that means absolutely nothing to me.
Wow.
Nothing to me.
Yeah, you're not B1, and I can't even explain what B1 is. Yeah. I can't even explain it to you. You see? Yeah, B1 is just some fantasy. It sounds good on my tongue. I've heard other people say it, so why not? So, you asking me what B1 is tells me you are not B1. You're sitting here, you're black, instead of assuming you're B1, just like I assume, and you're over here questioning me. That's what this sounds like. Interesting.
So
you know what I'm saying? So
whatever happened to no brothers left behind? Damn.
Well, no. Some brothers will be left behind.
Oh, so you leaving brothers behind?
Some brothers will have to be left behind.
When it comes to my plan on helping black people, no black people are left behind. You cannot be B1, brother.
And again.
I guess I'm the real white supremacist.
Barack Obama will be left behind. What did
Courtney Michelle say? Said B1 is black folks,
black
folks putting our community first. You have no solution, only playing victim with nonsense rhetoric.
And you're only repeating Nathan's words.
Antithesis of B1.
You have none of your own original thoughts.
Guys, doesn't it seem like Nathan, doesn't it sound like Afridamus there for a minute? Isn't this the same thing I keep talking about? Nathan is 100% correct. I'm glad he's calling out the victimhood mindset. So those of you that don't live in the United States or ever interacted with black people, as you know, both these people are black Americans. One is weak-minded, the other is logical. He operates in reality. That's the conversation you're watching. So it's not all black people. There is outliers. There is black people who think completely opposite of this B1 thing. This is why the conversation is taking place. This is why Mr. B1 is accusing the black man who has it together as the white supremacist. So he's accusing all the black people that operate in structure as the white supremacists. That's how silly this is. So it's like, yeah, let's promote the criminals. The criminals are the good guys. The good guys are the bad guys.
Try again.
I mean,
I didn't gave my solution. Now, whether you want to hear it or not, that's on you.
I hear, but this is what I will say though, brother. I think the interesting about this is in my opinion, there's a mind that you have to fight in our community. You have to fight the mind, right?
Yeah.
I'm asking you, how do you get to the mind? How do you break through that piece, right? When you came up here the first time, you told me that, hey, everybody's suffering from systemic racism and white supremacy. This is something that we've been conditioned.
Is he wiping his tears? What's going on?
Which I agree, there's conditioning going on. I'm asking you, how do you free people from the condition? That's what I'm asking you. You're telling me it's B1, but I hear you, right? All jokes aside, listen, all jokes aside. Right. I hear you saying B1. I'm saying it's not that simple.
Well, okay, let's do an exercise.
Go ahead.
Because this is going to help you with the solution. Make a circle like this and hold it up like that. No, go ahead. Make a circle. All right?
All right.
Inside this circle represents everything I know about everything I think I know. Mm-hmm. But it also represents that I need to learn a whole lot more.
Okay.
Now that's powerful because it helps people to understand that, and even me, that I don't know everything.
Okay.
I learned this simple technique from Dr. Ray Hagins.
Okay.
And it helps to blow through a lot of roadblocks. I don't know everything. Nathan, you don't know everything. No. But when we come together and we collab, Maybe it'll help somebody.
I agree.
I'm not here to ridicule you. Hopefully, you're not here to ridicule me. When I told you was a white supremacist,
So, so he's not going to answer the questions. Like I said, the chaos that he was hoping is ridiculing session. Order, having conversation in order. I mean, these B1 people, all if they don't have a choice, but that's always difficult because when you ask for them to explain things, they cannot. Now he's telling you about some doctor's book he read. Isn't it weird how most people you in this sector they cannot tell you about their real life experience or what they learned from their father, like things that are based in structure. And they're coming to you who's from a structured background and tell you, you should listen to them. So when you ask questions, then you become a white supremacist. That's what he encountered with Nathan here.
you're a proxy. I didn't mean. Well, I meant. I'm telling you what I see. But
Right,
at the
right.
same time, I'm hoping
That I
that
free myself.
that other people will start to look in the mirror a little bit. What I'm
Got it.
saying is a lot of police officers are of a mindset that they not black first.
What about the ones that are?
The ones that are end up dead, like Clyde, the officer that killed himself. Kern, I think his last name was Clyde Kern. Am I saying that right? He committed suicide. He was a strong soldier. He was a veteran.
So all the B1s have to commit suicide. The black police that are B1, they commit suicide, but the ones that remain are not B1. That's why they are still alive. So think about that for a minute. So anything that makes sense doesn't make sense with him. Like he's addicted to victimhood. There's no way to come out of it. He would find another loophole to remain being a victim. It's always poor me, poor me, poor me.
Police officer. I did a video about it.
Why did he kill? I have to look at that. His
Yeah,
name
please
doesn't
look
ring
that
a
up.
bell.
Yeah, but anyway, the officers who try to buck the system is such a burden on them. They end up in a bad spot. That one officer in California, I mean, he tried to report some people, some things, and it went bad. This was a bunch of years ago. I don't know his name, but long story short, what I'm saying is this system is really, it's a real thing, man. And me and you could go back and forth. We could act like we don't understand each other, and all that's fine and good. But the long story short is you can't unsee some things, and some things that just got to be fixed. And I'm gonna do my part best I can. I don't have a solution that you could hear right now, and that's fine. And what you got, you've kind of laid out some things as far as police officers, which is good. But all I was hoping to do is to say, hey, if you're gonna have to add that the system of racism, white supremacy in there, because I'm gonna tell you, this is something you mentioned on another broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
You said that the young fellow who got shot recently, I think he was a foreign fellow, black fellow. The cop and him was struggling for a while. The cop got tired and eventually shot the dude. Now,
so you notice anything that makes you black is always have to do with police. So so the only blacks you supposed to identify with is the ones that have interactions with the police, the one that got killed by the police or arrested by the police. So there is definitely nothing positive you could point to join these groups. So this is why you shouldn't be part of groups. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. So he has to dig and reach. You guys know. Now he's talking about that Congolese guy they killed. I thought they hated the quote unquote peddlers. But if it fits the victimhood narrative, they would claim him as, oh, you see, that was racism. Even though, you go listen to what they think about the Congolese people, from not all, but most, it would blow your mind. You guys have heard talking points from Tariq and others. You guys have heard them. So This is all fake. But let's let him tell us what he thought about the Congolese guy, whether that's racism or not.
The guy had some warrants or something, and so he was acting squirrely. You remember that?
Yeah.
Now, the part that you're missing on the behalf of the police officer, he too had something going on in his past and understanding that made him a little quick to pull a trigger on a black man, and it's called genetic annihilation.
Can you guys believe this? Proud Eritrean, you're right. It's true. I think, like I said, addicted to being killed by police or beaten by police. Because why would somebody be talking this way? So the police, the white police, is just scared of genetic annihilation, aka getting killed by a criminal. So yeah, he should not be afraid of getting annihilated. He should be happy to get killed by a black person. Why not? If he doesn't let himself get killed, that makes him a racist. Make that make sense, people. This is the type of silly things that you're hearing right now. So that cop shot that man because the cop was afraid of getting attacked. Why doesn't he just say that?
That's an inherent fear that white supremacists carry, and that's something that has not been addressed.
That's the problem that I have with that statement.
And I know you do have a problem with it because, again, you are you, but it's real, brother.
Wait one second.
Ain't no way around it.
Wait 1 second, brother.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you have any documented proof to support that statement that you just made?
Brother, we got hundreds of bodies dead from cops killing black people.
Once again, do you have any data research to suggest that that's the case?
Yes.
I would really like to see it, because here's the problem with that statement. You got to be careful when you make statements like that.
No, we don't have to be careful. We have to face it head on.
Listen.
Oh yeah, we don't have to research. We don't have to tell the truth. I mean, why be careful about lying? I mean, that's for white supremacists. Only white supremacists, think about the things they say. I don't want to be a white supremacist. Why would I think about the things I say? I don't want to be a white supremacist. People, that's what you're hearing. Did you know showing up on time is white supremacy also? In fact, I have a list of white supremacy traits. I will print them, and in fact, I think I'll do a show on that so you guys can learn about what makes one white supremacy. One of them is showing up on time, doing your work. Math is also racist. If you know how to, I think 2 + 2, if you say is 4, that's racist also. You guys think I'm playing, but I will do shows on this and show you proof.
Just as easy as people try to justify that Jewish people were worth genocide, just like how they decided that black skin means that it's okay for you to be enslaved, you can make assumptions like that without it being rooted in facts, right? That's a theory that she spewed in that video. Do you know what a theory is? Do you know what a theory is?
Our history is not a theory.
Do you know what a theory is?
Yeah, I know what a theory is.
What is a theory, sir?
I don't know the exact words, but it's a theory is educated thoughts on the subject. As best I can give you. It's got some study behind it. Whether it's 100% factual or not, it's a theory that has some root in scientific study.
That can't be proven.
Look, those of you that's taking like regular science class, chemistry, I think this is like 7th grade question. He's failed it, right? What is a theory, hypothesis? He failed, the basic ones. He's thinking too hard on it. He's all over the place, and he would have accused the teacher of racism. He's thinking too hard.
It's not proven.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of theories. You know,
exactly.
the out of Africa theory. That's a theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, imagine the teachers like, oh, give the definition of theory and give an example of it. And his example is, oh, the out of Africa, that's theory. Is like the teacher is like, what? Okay, yeah, but what is it? So his example would be the out of Africa theory in chemistry class. All right.
A lot of people believe it, but it ain't true. But
And
anyway,
a lot of people believe in Santa Claus.
That's true. That's true.
Exactly.
But
and
listen,
so again, when you make a statement and you say that an officer who's white shoots a black man because inherently, subconsciously, he's afraid of being genetically annihilated, sir.
Yeah, he has an inherent fear of black people.
Okay.
That's been proven. Man.
Okay.
That is not a theory.
All
that's
right.
a fact. And I
know. And guess what?
Hey, have you noticed how people like him? The 1 minute they said, "Oh, white people are targeting them," but they also like to brag that they wish white people would be scared of them, and they talk about this openly. Shouldn't that justify why? Because you're hoping they are scared of you. Isn't that weird to you guys? Like, okay, are you a victim or they're just scared of you? You're big and bad, they're scared of you. That's another thing I don't understand. Why would you want other people to be afraid of you? So the white officer is just scared. So when they go to court, when they said they was fearful for their life, so they are not wrong. Because you're saying here, this is what they're afraid of. So it is justified. You see? He's not even thinking about the things he is saying. Now you see why it's easy for cops to get off or other people to get off. Like they would bring a dumbass like him and he would say things like this to justify, to qualify exactly the claim that the cop is making.
What? I know women who sit in a car, pull up at a traffic light, and a black man walks past, and that's a black woman, and she locks her door. I know black officers who have a fear of certain people who look a certain way. Again,
and all of that is valid. All of that is
valid. So because you're afraid of something, because you've been indoctrinated or conditioned to believe this person is a threat, doesn't necessarily mean that everybody feels that way. So again, we can go back and forth on that logic. That again, that's the whole reason why it's a theory, because it can be attacked. I can provide evidence to counter that argument. So again, it's not true. You can't. You know what?
Let me go with one of your facts, because you like to pull out the facts. You say,
before you go into that, let me give these shout outs real quick. Dre Blanco's in the back. He says, "I'm so frustrated by this non-productive conversation. He's so strong in his convictions, he can't rationalize or quantify what is being said and what he is listening to." Well, the brother made his mind. Shout out to this brother here. He got a right to, I respect him because he came up here to have the conversation. I got a lot of cowards that follow me who like to talk trash under my videos, and I give them links to come up and they're afraid to have the conversation. I respect this brother right here. But Dre, I agree with you. He's strong in his convictions. And, but I definitely respect that. Gail at Night says, name 3 Black-owned businesses you support.
Trust me, I ain't got time for them old small-minded questions.
Name 3 Black-owned businesses that you support, sir.
Anderson Printing, DMSJ Management Company, and Wilson's Grass Cutting. Next question.
All right. Who do you bank with, you said?
Myself.
Black-owned bank.
Myself. I need to get to what I was talking about.
You bank with yourself?
Yeah, there's very few Black-owned banks that are really Black-owned. But anyway, let's get to the questions. Let's get to what I was going to talk about. Go ahead and address your.
So he banks with himself, right? So this guy cannot answer anything. This is why even the people that go, "Oh, we built America," when you ask, what is it that you built? Like, where's this all the other people back then? they get upset because it's not making sense, or like, oh, let's move on. Nobody's saying black people didn't contribute to the building of America, but it's not only black people. It's everybody that lives here. You know, it was majority white. This is why the place doesn't look like Africa. That gives you the clue that the white people are the ones that built it. Let's just keep it real. Blacks, you know, slave economy was once there, but it is the whites that built it. And not all these states were engaged in slavery either. But that's a different topic.
To subscribers, because they're important. You got a few more you need to address?
Let me scroll through. Let me scroll through. Don't want to make sure I miss nothing. Since you bank for yourself, I'm trying to get like you, brother.
No, I didn't say I bank for myself, but you say, who do I bank with that's black?
Who do you bank with a black-owned bank?
Okay, let's be real. If you okay, if somebody is constantly begging for free money, would you bank with that person? I know some are gonna come and say, "Oh, freedom is saying black people are beggars," but why do I care what color the bank owner is? I just want my money to be safe, plain and simple. So he can't even tell this man what black bank he banks with. So you just got to bank with the bank because the person is black. There's banks in Africa. I mean, you can do international banking. In fact, if it's all about the blackness, hey, explore some of these. You can do it online, open up an account in those black countries and bank with them. But it doesn't make sense, right? The guy is banking with Bank of America, Wells Fargo. That is if he has the money. Let's go.
I do my best. That's the best I can answer that.
Who do you bank with that's black owned?
Well, I did bank with a company. I found out they wasn't black owned. They had a black owned face.
What was the name of the bank?
Brother, I ain't gonna get into all that. Let's go, because I don't want to. That's my own personal financial situation.
Well, you don't bank with them no.
Hey, you know the few black banks, you can research this. Even when it comes to giving loans, they still, guess who gets more loans? White people, because majority of white people have good credit score. They reject, majority of the people they reject are black. Go figure, right? But they're not gonna tell you that. Banks are there for people go into banking and all for business. Nobody cares about this skin color crap thing. Okay, yeah, with the same skin color, so you are a risky, investment. Why would I deal with you? I mean, you could be as black as as this mic here. You think I care? And most people do not. Serious people do not. Even the same black people he talks about. When it comes to money, that B1 stuff is out the window.
No more.
And you have to respect that.
Oh, I respect it. I was just
well, good. Let's go. Let's move on.
Okay. B1.
100%.
All right. Henry Vaughn says, it's sad the old generation has the victim mindset. The solution to do everything you're supposed to do. Success is a choice.
Sound like Candace Owens to me, man. Move on to the next one.
So you see, he's addicted to victimhood. And by the way, sounds like another black American calling his victimhood mindset out. So these people you hear say, oh, it is the black immigrants that call us, think like, we're just victims. No, it's not only them. There is other black people who do not think this way. I don't want you to think it's every black person. Obviously, Nathan doesn't think like Mr. B1 here. So he thinks calling the person Candace Owens would be an insult. So you're saying she is intelligent? Oh, because that Candace Owens, you might disagree with her, but you can't say she's not intelligent. She doesn't sound like an idiot. That's for sure.
He said something like Candace Owens.
Yeah, because whenever a black person tell another black person that's victim mentality, you do not blame a rape victim for being raped. So
he sees, so he's a victim. You guys see from B1. So now, he has the same trauma as a rape victim. This is the subconscious talking. This man, deep down, look at the things he's comparing himself to. This is the program he's running in his head. This is how he sees himself. So he's kind of like a rape victim, same equivalence. Amazing.
Blame the person that raped them, and if that person is being raped becomes sexually promiscuous, you can't blame them for that behavior. They need help. That's period. That's simple. But you want to blame the victim? Come on, man. Next, let's move on. It's boring me.
Did you guys? Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Let me read some of these comments. Proud Eritrean said he doesn't like accountability. Yeah, that's for sure. African unambiguity exclusive representation. Man, that's a long name. Said Afridamus, some Afro descendants Americans think that continental Africans are more privileged than African Americans, especially in the USA. Your thoughts? Complete baloney. Complete baloney. Just like, so what they're trying to, people that say that, remember they talk about white privilege, right? They say all the white people have the privilege. So if they're saying the Africans have privilege, that's not true. It's about you get what you put in. If you're willing to work hard, you're going to get what you get. Pretty much what it is, you receive what you put in. That's what the privilege is. You create your own privilege. So when they say white privilege, trust me, white people don't. Maybe some might, or there are blacks. You think LeBron James doesn't have rich people privilege? He's black. So it's about class. But instead of looking at the privilege other people have, create your own quote unquote privilege. If you are, if your feet is, if you have a size 10 foot and you want to force your foot in a size 8, that's going to be a problem. So that's why many, they want to compare themselves to rich people and base it off of skin color. I want to be like that rich person. Well, buddy, you better put work in. Not every white person is rich. Oh, however he sees white people. But no, Africans do not have more privilege than Afro Americans or blacks in America.
Are you?
Yeah, because I want to get out what I got something very important on my brain. I need to
All right, go ahead and my man said he bank at Wells Fargo.
Yeah, and SunTrust, and also bank with a bunch of other banks too. Next question.
All right, brother. What were you gonna get out before? Is it okay if I bring? I have a lot of people in the back. Is it okay if I bring them up if they have questions for you?
No, I don't want to answer no questions.
You don't want to answer no questions?
No
all right, I respect that. I respect.
Are you guys surprised he doesn't want to answer questions from the people in the back? I'm not surprised. And you notice he calls people's name constantly. He doesn't even know if all those people disagree with him or they agree with him, but he's calling them flukes. That's how childish he is.
What do you want to get out? What are your
you said this statistic before. You said that there are more white people. I mean, cops kill more white people. I mean, it was about black on black crime or something anyway. But you said there's more, federally speaking, from the federal numbers, white people commit more crime than black people. I think you said something like that. Am I close to that?
You got to tell me what specifically you're referring to, so I can make sure I can get the right.
Yeah.
What was the dynamic? What was the dynamic? Was it white on? Was it?
We were saying that cops kill more black people. Seem like in this country, and you said, well, no, cops kill white people more than they kill black people.
Oh yeah. So the data is white cops. The police shootings. And when it comes to police shootings, you have white people are killed more in encounters with law enforcement than black people are.
Yeah. And so my question about that is if white people out here wilding like that, You know what I'm saying? That must mean they're doing more crime than black people. Then why ain't more of them in jail? Why is the percentage of
There are more white people in, like I've worked in prisons. If it's predominantly white state, I guarantee you there's more white people in jail. You know, if you're talking about statistic proportion, reason why black crime stands out is like 13% of the population committing 50% of the serious crimes. That's why it stands out, because your proportion to the population versus white people's proportion, obviously there's way more white people than blacks. So it would make sense for more white people to go to jail because it's more of them. But if you compare the amount of white people versus their population and the amount of black people versus black population, now that's what stands out. But he is too dumb to see it. But yes, if you go to prison, yes, you're going to see tons of black people there. And I can assure you they're not there for reading Bibles. That much we know.
people, black people, the percentage of people in jail is more black than white. When we're supposedly be 13, 14% of the population. I'm asking a question. I'm asking because that was your statistic.
Yeah, but you're holding. You're saying so. I got confused, right?
Okay.
Hold on. Not you. Someone in the chat confused me, threw me off. Listen, if you're B1, because right, you got someone in here that's supporting you here. I want to make sure I get their questions up. Right way pools and spas. I'm missing your question. If you guys have a question, put Q in front. Right way, I want to get your question because right way is saying that I'm not putting his questions up. That's not it. I'm putting the super chats up. So those who are giving super chats and those who are members, I make those priorities to bring up on the screen. So right away, I don't want you to feel like I'm alienating you from the conversation. This is a mutual discussion.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the super chat here to show your B1 power. Let's go.
So please put your question up so I can see it right now. I want to make sure this brother gets it so he can answer the question. Those who want to give him a direct question, but
I will not answer any goofy questions.
All right.
AKA honest questions. Wow, interesting.
Let me. So you're talking about the prison pop. Can you rephrase the question again?
Yeah. Go ahead. When you said the federal numbers show that cops kill white people more than black people.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. That would make me think that white people are causing more crime. Then
they are.
Then why is the ratio so?
So you see his logic. So the black people that the cops kill are innocent, right? But the white people that the cops kill, those are criminals. So in his mind, so now you see when it comes to white people, you know, they got killed by the cops because they are criminals, but the blacks are innocent and the cops are just killing them because they are black. He can't even, I don't think he thinks this through. He just says things.
So far off as far as black people being incarcerated than white people.
It's not far off. There are more incarcerated white people than black people.
I need to see them numbers because I promise you that ain't what I've seen. Now, I ain't got the numbers in front of me. You're pretty good on numbers, but
I think, and that's not your fault.
Nationwide, it's pretty
not
high.
accurate. Let me explain to you why, and it's not your fault. It's not anybody's fault. This is why my channel exists, because the purpose is to explain.
So for somebody like him that like to talk about these things, you could literally, you're just one click away from getting these informations. Not only in writing, you could literally see videos to show this. But because CNN told you, you know, like, imagine the reason why they show a black person get killed by a cop and it becomes a big deal, because it's not usual. Does that make sense to you? Like when you hear about Chicago or other stuff, people are just going, oh yeah, that's normal. But it's not normal for white people, white cops to kill blacks. That's why it becomes such a big deal. You know, I've seen a video of a cop, white cop, several of them, they killed an autistic person, just like they did with George Floyd. They suffocated him, and in the video, the cops were laughing. People didn't make a big deal about it. The news didn't even talk about that. So, and I think those cops, they got off. You didn't even hear about it. So, if you don't think you're being used for some agenda to make you feel like, it's totally okay to attack people with guns or resist or run and nothing's gonna happen, you're suddenly fooling yourself. Use common sense. Don't let other people dictate your destiny for you. If you listen to people like him, you would suddenly, make mistakes. They would make you paranoid and make you think, oh, the cops are just out looking for you, operating in fear. That's a hard life.
The criminal justice system, because sometimes we see things on the surface level, but we don't understand what we're actually looking at, because we're not familiar with, let's say profession, right? So when you're reading statistics, sometimes people read the statistics to only acknowledge their own particular viewpoint. And if you don't understand what you're looking at, you don't see the nuances to actually look at it properly. So when it comes to incarceration, there's two types of incarcerations. You're looking at state, and you're also looking at federal. When you bring those both together, Black people are still not more incarcerated than white people. And so I think that's where sometimes the confusion. Some people look at one statistic over the other. I look at it as in its entirety. Incarceration is incarceration out of respect to the data. You get what I'm saying? But someone who's unfamiliar.
That's why it's weird. Like these days, you see some of these Black people celebrating, or when they hear, oh, white people's population is gonna go down. Back a few years back, Joe Biden said white people's population will go down in 2017, which is not true. If there is still way more white people in America than Blacks, okay? There is way more Blacks aborting Black babies. There is Black people, shooting other Black people. So the population is not catching up to the white population. And don't speak of the whitewashing of the African phenotype out of the Black population. Eventually, like all the Blacks would, a few years from now, the darkest Blacks would be like Will Smith. It would range from like Sean King to the Will Smith level. If you see the dark ones, it would probably be Africans or Caribbeans. It's not going to be from here. I mean, but some will have a hard time to mate with the whites. But hey, that's another topic.
Would not break it down that way.
So the state is more Black people locked up statewide and less federal. And when you combine it come out to.
Let me pull it up right now. Just so we both can be clear. But the last time,
yeah, that's right, proud Eritrean. The Motisa take over. That's what's happening.
I checked it. That's exactly what it was. If you really look at all the numbers in its entirety, white people are more federally incarcerated than Blacks. Blacks are more state incarcerated. Let me pull it up. I think this is good for us to look up real quick.
In federal crimes, they call them white collar crimes, right?
Yeah, they do.
No, they do not. I'm surprised Nathan agreed with him. White collar crimes are different, from maybe other criminal crimes. But who cares what they label it as? So that means when he hears white is right and Black is wrong in his mind. So, oh yeah, they call it white crimes. Is the man in prison? Does it matter what they call it? You are going to prison. So you're telling me if somebody they don't have murderers in federal prison? If you kill somebody, they're gonna call it white collar crimes? Over here, I think Nathan also is wrong. Like he's falling into it. Or maybe he's just laughing at this goofy guy here.
All right.
All right, but that's a good point, though, right? That's a very good point.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
And Matifi, thank you for the €10 super chat. Matifi said, greetings to Afridamus and all the other dusty ones. Thank you. And yes, Matifi is calling all the dusties to the mat. So yeah, get in, respond to him in a super chat. Thank you, Matifi.
the reality is, if we talking lockup, we talking lockup. Let me see. All right, you guys, bear with us for 1 second. I want to bring up this data real quick for us to go over. Got this first one. But so while I'm pulling this up, though, what correlation? What is the correlation that you're trying to make in reference to the incarceration rate?
Well, the correlation is if there isn't a system in place like I'm talking about, then why is the number so far off? Why are there more black people locked up incarceration than white folks? And then why is it when a black person do a crime, they're getting like life?
They've told them there isn't more blacks in American prison than whites, but he's still going to repeat it. Why are there those people there? Because they're committing crimes. That's why. But he's pretending like he doesn't know. And sounds like he doesn't know about jail or prison. How did he stay out of that system? Unless if he's been in jail, but it doesn't sound like he knows about it. So you tell us how you stayed out of jails. Tell the other blacks.
For marijuana sales. I mean, it's ridiculous.
That's not accurate. But I will say this.
I've actually got relatives.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
mean,
so it ain't like I'm telling you something that I heard. You know.
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't.
You got the three strike law that was presented.
This guy said you go to jail for life for marijuana sales. Big lies. But you see now he's talking about the 3 strikes laws, which before the 3, I think they still have it. You keep repeating the crime, repeated offender. I guess the 3rd one, even if you snatch a purse, you're going in for life. Guys, think about this for a minute. How crazy it is, right? They warn you. You know this is the law of the land. 3 strikes, you are out. They're like, look, this is not a joke. You commit the crime, you are going for life. You've already committed 2. I mean, at that point, you don't care about your own life. You want to throw it away, unless you think the system is just joking. And Supergirl, thank you for your $4.99 super chat. She said, B1, C1, Hotep. We was kings. I can't keep up. Exactly. So yeah, that's what he's saying. Baby Huey said, I am mad. I can't get a damn bank loan. Baby, he will clean your credit, okay? Or maybe join the B1 bank. So this guy, he's clearly lying. You're not gonna go to jail, even in those harsh states, for life for just selling marijuana. There is something much more that he's not saying.
Presented Bill Clinton and Joe Biden that was specifically targeted to black people. Now, if you deny that, brother, you're gonna have some serious problems. If you deny that, we're gonna have some serious problems.
I'm well aware about what Biden and them did in the crime bill now. What I'm saying is it's not accurate, meaning that we can't use anecdotal fringe cases and say that that's applied to everybody. That's not evidence and that's not accurate, right? That's not a way to make a good argument. The reality is
you're right about that, but you got on average of 1 person a month seem like being let out of jail. They've been in jail for 50 years for a crime they didn't commit, and all of them people seem to be black.
Because they feature the black story. He's talking about the Innocence Project. I told you guys I worked in prison before. I have welcome those guys to the prison who have helped inmates process the paperwork. They don't announce it, but go, if you don't believe me, go look it up. There is way more, innocent whites. They've confirmed that they are innocent and let out. Again, that makes sense because there's a lot more white people. Just because you didn't hear about it doesn't mean it didn't happen. But you can also stop being lazy and look up the races of the people. Yes, they do convict plenty of people of all races wrongfully. It's not only blacks. Back in the days in some regions in America, even today, you look at some places, they have a lot more, their laws are a little bit more stringent. But if you know what the law is, why break it? If you can do the time, don't commit the crime.
Well, I would say my counter to that is just because you didn't hear about the ones that happen to white people doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Are we honestly going to make an argument that white people don't suffer from the same consequences?
Yeah, that's exactly the argument I'm gonna make. That's
Oh,
exactly the argument I'm making.
all
Because
right.
the system ain't designed to lock up.
Talk about narcissism. So bad things only happen to blacks. Nothing bad ever happens to white people. But like, you want people to support you in this irrational, way of thinking.
Black people on a large scale level. You know what I'm saying? That'd be counterproductive to the system.
Well, I think to your argument, the only piece you're missing is you have to factor in other layers of one behavior. You got to factor in crime. You have to factor in the fact of how that behavior was carried out in the process of being arrested.
So think about this. Even the 3-strike law, they are saying that was cruel, right? How many more chances do you need? Let's just be real. Like, how many chances? Like, after 3 times and the warning is there. Come on, y'all. Let's be real. How many more chances do you need? If you didn't get it, the first 2 times, you will never get it. And that's why they put people in place. And he talks as if the 3 strikes laws only affected blacks. There are whites, Hispanics who also are as criminal too. They get hit with it.
One thing that I can tell you is that when we look at who is most likely to resist arrest, data shows that unfortunately black men resist arrest more than white men. So when you start factoring,
or it was the white cop so in his feelings that he thought the black man was resisting because he says, "Why are you pulling me over?" Oh, resisting. He started cracking himself.
Nah, that's not how it goes. But normally,
yeah.
I hear what you're saying. But normally,
come on, it is.
No. I hear what you're saying. But what ends up happening is it's one of those things where resisting.
Can you guys believe this? So everything he has to somehow he would find a way to make it someone's fault. So the cop is like, pull you over, and you ask why you're pulled over. Oh, you're resisting arrest. Is this guy serious right now? Show me a video where this has happened. Show me. Rasmoy, thank you for the $2 super chat. Rasmoy said, time to get this white supremacy. Time to get this money. White supremacy is a myth. Absolutely. Obviously, if Mr. B1 here cannot explain it. So this guy lives in a la land. So a cop is just going to pull you over, and you ask the cop, why are you getting pulled over? Even though he's just provided the statistics that it is blacks that resist arrest more than anybody else. I have worked as an officer, and I can attest to that. I don't have to read you or tell you, oh, I read this. No, I can tell you. I had the badge. I interacted with people. We, put the cuffs on people, tell people, put your hand behind your back, lay down, cross your feet, put your hand behind your back, look to the left, move, give me your hand one at a time. You need to comply. I'm not telling you what I was told. I worked it. And I can tell you who who would be lippy, who, no matter how many people are surrounding him, would want to fight or resist. 9 out of 10 times, it would be a black person. Somehow, like, would think they can take on all these people. It's just wild.
Arrest is a very, very legitimate situation where, hey, you're under arrest, put your hands behind your back, someone runs, someone's fight, or they try to assault the officer, and then they get injured, or unfortunately they get killed in the process. Case in point with the Patrick Loyola, the one we're talking about earlier, where that gentleman was shot in the back of the head. He should have never been shot. But when we're looking at that case, do you constitute that as a resistance of arrest? That case?
Again, that dude was acting squirrely because he had warrants.
Did he resist arrest?
The white guy was acting squirrely because
did he resist arrest?
He feared that black guy was going to kill him. So he
is going to go all over. This is how you know this guy is a devil. He's dishonest. He's a liar. He's not interested in the truth. So he's asking him, did the man resist arrest? But he is more fixated and focused on the white officer. Let's see if he is going to listen to Nathan.
He resist arrest. See, when we're not going to be able to have a conversation if you're going to be intellectually dishonest. In that case that you saw the video, was Patrick Loyola resisting arrest?
Yes.
All right.
But why was he resisting arrest?
Doesn't matter.
What took him so long to answer that? So the man resisted arrest. How hard is that? Baby Huey, thank you for the $2 super chat. Baby Huey said, quacks have it worse than B1s. I have the stats. Thank you. Proud Eritrean American said, Afridamus, what do you think he does when there is an emergency? Calling 911. He calls the white man, okay? You know, like back in June 10th, last week, they said the blacks were celebrating their independence. Now they call it independence, and some people got shot in the celebration. But the real independence is coming on Monday, American independence. I wonder if the blacks are going to celebrate. But this guy just said that guy resisted arrest. So what did he expect to have happened? What did he expect? Let's be real. Forehead Warrior said, what is a hotep with a supreme victim mentality scared of it? It's a trick question. 1, job application. 2, the truth. 3, job application. 4, job application. Man, Forehead Warrior, you are asking for too much here. You talked about job application 3-4 times. That's not part of the B1 manifesto. I don't think you are listening to Mr. B1 here. Touching the application is not part of the program. No. Free checks, free checks, free checks for life.
If it matters that he was resisting arrest, I need to know why he was resisting arrest. Hell, why was he pulled over in the first place?
He was black. He was what?
He was black. He was profiled. Now,
no,
I know.
Did you guys hear that? So he said he wanted to know why he was pulled over. Okay, that video, you guys go watch and tell me if you were the cop, if you were going to pull that guy over. If you didn't pull him over, you didn't do your job. But this guy literally walked his way. First, he refused to acknowledge that the guy was wrong. Now he's trying to come up with, excuses, like, again, unproductive dealing with somebody like him.
I know that there's some things that, he had a plate and this, all that, but
is that not a legal reason to stop somebody?
Man, I've been pulled over because I had looked like a disco ball hanging from my goddamn mirror.
Is there
no justification?
Is there in the state law? Is it against the law for you to hang things on the mirror and it actually obstructs the window view?
I'm pretty sure it is, but it's very flimsy. It's just the reason. See, those things are put there to give cops legal reasons to mess with black people.
Wow. Did you guys hear this? So to put those glitter balls hanging from your, mirror in the state that I live in most states, it's illegal. You're not supposed to put it there. He literally said they put that law in place so cops can mess with black people. So you're saying black people don't know how to follow the law? They don't have self-control, so as long as they if they say don't do it, then you're going to do it. This guy is got mental issues. So he's literally saying, yes, he knows this is the law, but he said it's flimsy. He decided it's flimsy. But then he goes out and gets pulled over, which it sounds like he's lying, but he made something up that he's violating the law. He gets pulled over, and yet he's the victim. You know what? Oh yeah, they just wrote it there, but they don't want to pull people over. It's just they put it in law for black people. Just like crack, right? Remember how they tell you the quack story about crack? Oh, it was the CIA that, brought it in, dropped it in the hood. Okay, so fine. If let's say they did they also force you to use it or sell it? You see what I'm saying? Wow, this is wild. This is crazy.
Period. And it's simple. But I mean, if you just go by the book, then
are you saying that white people don't get pulled over for those same type of offenses?
I'm promising you they don't. I guarantee you, my dollar to your dime, they don't.
No, you trying to put money up?
Man, all day, every day, and twice on Sunday.
How much you trying to put up?
He's talking to a former police officer. This quack has never been a cop. He's never interacted in these circles. He's just some dude who has the angry mama spirit in him against white people and men in general. He is literally saying this doesn't happen to white people. How many videos of, remember when they had the cop show? How many of those videos do we see, crazy white people getting chased, running away, getting beat up by the cops, getting pulled over for those disco balls? Look, you cannot do more weird things to your car that is against the rules than white people. Not all, but there are more crazier white people than there is blacks, because there's, like I said, the population is more white. We've all seen those shows. We've all seen the reality. I'm sure Nathan have pulled over many whites. That's why he's confident about this. This guy is not saying these things happen to him. He's just making it up as he goes. Just like talking about slavery. You've never been a slave. Why are you talking as if you are a slave? So this is a pattern.
$2.
Of course.
Feel me? No, but
We
really,
ain't putting up nothing.
what I'm saying is, look, listen.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
You can have statistics to back up your point, because you could say a thing is legal, but is it moral? All day long, you know what I'm saying?
We're not here to make more. You will be
No.
right there.
What I'm saying is,
you're trying to make an emotional argument, and we're talking about law.
Well,
I'm
see,
telling
that's the
you
thing
about
is,
the law.
slavery used to be legal. That's the law.
Sure, right. You're absolutely right.
I mean, that's it. To me, it's cut and dry.
But until it.
So okay, yeah, slavery used to be legal, but it's not. But generally they would throw that in as if that's supposed to score point. Yeah, it was legal. So what's your point?
Changes, guess what? It's still the law. So what are you going to argue?
I'm gonna argue the shit ain't right. What you talking
about?
Well,
that's fine, but you're right. It ain't right, but you better do what you're told.
Well, that still don't keep you from getting shot in the head.
Yes, it does.
No, it don't, Nathan, and you know that. You're a cop. You should know better than that.
You know how many people get arrested a year on average? 10 million
I have no
people.
idea.
10 million people, approximately 10 million people on average get arrested a year, and they're not shot in the head. You know why? Because they comply. Do you mean to tell me that I know black men who have not complied and shot up at the police and still get arrested?
Well, we need to see them cases.
You want me to pull it up?
I personally met black prisoners. That's literally what they are there for in prison. Shooting at cops. Literally. You don't hear that on the news. And some of these people, they brag about it. That's like normal. Like, what is this guy talking about? This is silly.
All two of them, yeah.
He said, ain't no pleasing you, brother. Listen, this is inmate race. This is for federal statistics. This is the Federal Bureau of Prisons right here. Inmate race as of June 11, 2022. You look at the percentage for black, white, Asian. What are we looking at for percentage wise? Black men, or I'll say black men, I'm sorry. Black people, 38% in federal prison. White men, 57.7%.
What's the statistic for state?
Let me pull up the state.
Because all them fellas in there for tax evasion.
Does it matter?
Yeah, it matters.
Man, listen, brother, listen. We talk about.
Guys, this is what you find yourself in. So, all of a sudden, no black person commits a crime. They are there for tax evasion, according to him. Okay.
About incarceration. Now you want to break it down on what they did. You see?
Come on, you know it matters.
B1.
You know it matters. You know it matters.
B1. Give me 1 second. All right. This brother want to go down the merry-go-round on this stuff. All right.
Hey, Nate, my battery getting ready to die, man. I ain't got too much time. I could be on this with you, brother. I do appreciate it, though. If it do go blank out, then, I did my best.
No.
Yeah. The battery is draining already. Yeah, we know. Your battery is about to die. Sure.
You good, man. Listen, let me send you the state one because I got to go through 8 tabs. I want to bring it up. But to your point, there are a little more in state, but they don't. I want to pull it up. I don't want to misspeak the numbers. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think this is it on national level. Is this it? I had a way that showed me all the ethnicities. Give me 1 second, brother. 1 second. But to your point, though, in reference to the incarceration rate, we got to look at the type of crime.
Guys, look at his face. Look at his face. The guy is literally dog walking him into reality. You see, doesn't it look like he wants to cry? He's trying all kinds of excuses to get out of this. The evidence as they come, look at the face. So he's preemptively saying, oh, my battery is about to die. We know. So we'll give him a few more minutes and I'll wrap it up here in a minute. Because I just want you to not get wrapped up in unproductive conversation with these type of people. The mindset is warped.
Crime that's being committed, unfortunately, in our community. I think you mentioned this, right? Was I talking to you when you said this? Unfortunately, black men or black people were responsible for almost half of the most violent offenses in this country.
Yeah, but cops shoot white people more than black people. That don't even make sense.
It does make sense.
No, that don't make sense.
It does make sense when you actually look at the data. I think the problem is you can't look at the data as a whole, as a group. You have to look at it as individual incidents because there's so many variables that take place in a police encounter. It's not so simple that a person woke up, got out the car, and got shot by the police. You have to look at all the data. Was a person armed? Were they unarmed? What type of crime were they committing? Did they shoot at the police? Did they fight the police? Did they take the police weapon? If you're not looking at all those type of contexts, and you're going to miss the point. You just can't look at the data as whole. I think that is where people make their greatest mistake. Johnny says, yo, Johnny dropped $100. Thank you so much, Johnny. I appreciate this super chat. What did he say? He said, it's funny how us blacks complain about being locked up, but continually glorify it. What are your thoughts on that?
That's interesting. That's all I can say about that.
All right, Johnny dropping gems. That's what I'm gonna call him tonight. Johnny dropping gems.
Yeah. How many rap songs have you heard? Oh, people talking to, they telling you, bragging about how, they're serving time, they're doing all this jail time, killing people and shooting people. There's whole industries of this. So you brag about it, but then you want to complain and, you're bragging about breaking the law, but you shouldn't be locked up. That doesn't make sense.
So I think when we look at the crime data, Black people commit a lot of crime disproportionately for our actual population size. That's the issue. So if we're committing too much crime at a high rate in our own communities, then of course we're going to have a disproportionate response to police encounters. One would argue that we're not as we don't resist arrest as much as white people do, right? Or violently, or caught with arms. Well, I won't say that.
If white people ain't resisting, why the hell they getting shot? You say they get shot more than black folks?
Because just because you're not resisting doesn't mean you don't have a weapon. It doesn't always have to be you resisting. You can have a weapon. They can say put the weapon down. You don't put the weapon down.
Black folks know that all too well when they got a cell phone in their hand and the cops say, I thought he had a gun.
True. It's very true. So, very true. More reasons why to cooperate, right? That way can nobody make up nothing on you. Let me see. More reasons to cooperate. I know a lot of brothers who cooperated and they didn't have any issue. Where is they?
Imagine this guy is, like I said, probably 50 or so. This is his mindset. They had to teach him this on a live stream. And he is arguing against everything that would help you go home. He doesn't want to do what is right. It's like he wants to set people up for this victimhood. But he himself, he probably doesn't even resist arrest from the cops. But he's trying to glorify that. That's what makes this even sicker.
Prison facilities. I'm going to have to find this for you and email it to you. I don't want to take up too much time, but I'm not. Hold on. Is this it?
He's hoping they don't find it. Look, he's tired of.
No, separate black families. They're destroying black boys. They're going after the kids. It's plain as day for those who can see it. So then the question is, how do you fix it? We look at our homes. They're broken. They're damaged. They're dysfunctional. The media, the music, entertainment is counterproductive for the growth and success of our community. Mm-hmm. We don't own anything. We spend too much money. We have the resources to do what we need to do to fix it, but we don't cooperate. We don't work together properly in order to do it. We're coming up on a food shortage. Inflation is through the roof. The stock market is on its way out, and the housing market is on its way out of here. We are not prepared economically to weather this storm. I plan on doing a video coming up.
So, guys, pretty much Nathan Daly cooked him, brought him to reality. He's still thinking like a child. So I don't want to continue putting you through this pain. We've put in 3 hours. It's been a minute before, since I did that, but I want to thank all of you for watching. As you guys know, as usual, I would always break it down. And I think since I haven't been opening the lines, I would start opening them back up. Even today, I dropped the invitation, but it's a little over 3 hours. So I'm coming to the end of the show. But yeah, that's what B1 is, people. So it's pretty much nothing. That's what we've learned here. We've learned that the B1 thing. Oh, it looks like somebody called in. Baby Huey, thanks for calling in. What do you want to say? Baby Huey, thank you for calling.
Hello.
Hold on.
Hello. This is Baby Huey, and we have it worse than B1s. Us Q1s have it worse than B1s. We cannot get bank loans We cannot get anything in our name. We cannot get. We invented. My 20 generations back, my great grandfather invented the toilet. Now, hold on.
Baby Huey, hold on, Baby
The
Huey. Let me
toilet that
ask you,
actually flushes.
Baby Huey. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
So you're not getting bank loans, and why is that? Is it because a credit issue, or like what is
Who?
it?
Well, what bank is gonna give a bank loan to a quack like me?
Huh? So wait, Baby Huey, I'm confused. So you have it harder than the B ones.
Yeah,
Did you not listen to all the difficulties that the B ones experience in this country?
they experience a little bit, but we experience more because I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, but I'll tell you one thing. That Nathan, I'm mad. He didn't show the quack stats. I want to see the
So
quack stats.
so do the quacks
Hey,
face police brutality
all
like
the time.
the
All the time. We
huh?
even get ran over when we cross the street. We get ran over. We're just waddling across the street. And for no reason, the cops run us over. They ain't got to pull us over. They just run us over.
So do you guys have a organization, Quack Lives Matter, or uh,
Quackers don't get organizations. We get manipulations. Our guts are all over the street. We can't go to court because they won't give us a court case for anything. We can't hire a lawyer. We don't get pro bonos. We don't get anything.
so so what do you guys go by, Baby Hugh? Is it B1,
No,
Q1, or
no. It's QLM.
what is it?
QLM. Quack
Quack Life
Lives Matter.
Quack Lives Matter.
Yeah, I'm quack,
So
y'all. I'm quack,
so
y'all. I'm quackity quack, y'all.
so is your leader also
No. Our
a
leader
quack
is
lesbian? Is it a lesbian?
no. Quack. No, it's quack. It's quack. Oh, cream. Quack cream.
Quackwim. Quackwim.
Quack
Well,
cream. Yeah.
Quackwim, thank you for calling in to represent your Quack clan. And we'll be sure to make sure, the other people, have the QLM in mind. Thank you for calling. And you are always welcome here, Baby Hugh.
Sawa. And thank you.
Thank
I'm
you
out.
very much. All right. More. What do you want to say?
Yeah, Afrodamos, it's been a while. Thank you for having me.
No
Uh,
problem. What do you want to say to Mr. B1? What have you learned about?
Again, just from watching him and trying to assess the things that he was saying, I've got a supreme mentality of victimhood from this person. Everything he was saying was easily countered. Everything he
Yeah.
was saying was nonsense, not backed by facts or any sort of proof. Everything he said was based on emotion. Um, this man, I mean, as he said, he
So
got
so
dog walked.
but more.
Yeah.
What do you think about when he said at first he said B1, it's about skin color, but then it changed, like white people can even be B1. So and they can be white supremacists. What do you make of that?
I mean, it just that explains everything with that person's mindset. It tells you everything you need to know just from hearing him make that statement. It tells you where his IQ is at. This person's IQ is somewhere in the negatives. You heard the other part where he stated again the statement about the police brutality, and he stated that black people get brutalized by the police way more, which is incorrect because even if you
Right.
use the law of averages, with the white people being significantly more, that's why you need the law of averages. And when you use law of averages, it's still white people significantly. So
But
even his data is incorrect.
do you expect him to think like to be able to think that way?
No, I don't expect him to think that way because his IQ is so low. And
Do you
I
think
mean,
he's
it
doing
showed.
it on purpose? Do you think it's willful ignorance?
I think it's a bit of both. I think he might possibly be doing it on purpose because, again, we've seen the rhetoric with BLM. A lot of
Mhm.
people, again, even though they know that the BLM, or see, this is the question, Afrodamus. When people have, the woman that started the BLM, or the woman that actually started the organization. She
Yeah,
took the funding from the
the
campaign
two of
and
them,
she brought,
the
yeah,
the five
in a
black
white neighborhood.
lesbians. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And she brought the two properties within a safe white neighborhood. This is a woman
right.
that's supposed to be standing for Black Lives Matter. So you could just see the contradictory within her argument. I think this is what he's
Well,
doing. He's trying to gather some people, just like that clown. What was his name? The FBA dude. What was his guy?
Tariq
The one
Nasheed.
that, yeah, Tariq Nasheed. He's a clown. She's trying to. He's probably either. I mean, he probably doing some underhanded stuff like
No,
gathering a
he's a
following.
disciple. He's a disciple.
Oh wow.
He's a
I mean,
disciple so more. Does this sound more like a religion as you listen to people that have this type of mindset, like fighting? It's weird to me that somebody would fight so hard to be and remain a victim. Have you picked up on that in his delivery?
oh yeah, I picked it up in his delivery. The victim mindset, the constant, oh, the white man did this to me, the white man did that to me, and even his
But he
arguments
hasn't
didn't
said
make sense.
anything that the white man did to him. He's just quoting, make believe things.
Exactly, it's all fairy tale to these people. It's a cult, Afrodamas. It's a cult navigated to subjugate the young black minds within America, so they can create a following and they can do exactly what the BLM did: take funding and actually support themselves. It's all about money for them. It's not about even if they believed what they were saying, it's it's incorrect because they're still doing it for the money. I bet this guy later on in the future, I'm calling it right now, is gonna start some sort of campaign so he can get funding,
Oh
and then
no,
he's gonna do what that BLM woman
I
did.
don't, I don't think he's that sharp. But hey, you never know. Mo, thank you for calling in because I don't want to overrun this. But thanks for calling. Make sure you call tomorrow. Thank you. All right, everyone's favorite. What do you want to say? Yeah, everyone's favorite. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I find it very weird how some people they wanna choose to be victims or they wanna embrace being oppressed, even though when they're not. It's something I don't understand.
And where are you calling from? Every favorite Eritrean? Oh, so every
I'm
favorite
calling from
Eritrean,
Canada.
Canada. Let me ask you this. So did you pick up victimhood in this man's delivery as well, or you're seeing somebody who is either willfully ignorant, or he truly believes he is a real victim?
I think he truly believes he's a real victim. I genuinely do. It's
Hmm.
something I've been seeing as well, even where I live in Canada. I see people that they want to be victims so bad, even though they have like good lives or they haven't really been through oppression like that. It's something that's very unfortunate. And
Hmm.
it's also something I see a lot with like a lot of younger people as well.
That's why they're trying to erase shame and religion,
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely.
people can feel good. Well, everyone's favorite. Thank you for calling in, and make sure you do call again. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day, Afridamus.
You too. Thank you. Rob, what do you want to say? Rob, what do you want to say to the
Yo,
topic?
what going, man?
Nothing aguan.
Yeah, what fam?
Rob, are you new
Yeah,
here?
yeah, man. Like, swear down, like, I swear, like, Black Lives Matter and that, like, they just chat shit, bro.
They talk
Chat
what?
utter rubbish, bro. Utter rubbish, bro.
Who are the people doing that?
Like the BLM and that, like, like that lady in a big flipping house, yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Swear down, like,
So
why are they
what do
doing
you
that, bro?
so so you think they will call you a Caribbean tether? Are you
Or what,
familiar
fam?
with that?
Caribbean
Like,
tether.
yeah.
What that mean, bro?
Oh, you haven't been following the streets here?
No, man, like talking like Black Lives Matter and that, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, Rob, thank you for calling. We went way
Nah, you're
over
not
the
thanking
show.
me, bro. I thank you, bro. You beautiful
Thank
fam.
you. Thanks
Beautiful
for
back.
calling.
Yeah,
Thank
body boy. Yeah.
you. What was that? What was that? Anyways, it's good to end it on that note. I don't know. Yeah, if Prodigy, I heard this person. Rob, thank you. I wonder if this was Rob here. I don't know. This person? Huh?
Or a non-binary person, which, depending on their assigned gender at birth, having or not having had the surgery. But it is that exclusion that makes it transphobic.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's show, and I hope to see you pretty soon again. All right? Thank you.